Hello and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for a North Dakota High School basketball matchup between the Sheyenne Mustangs and the Shanley Deacons. I'm Braden Altringer alongside my partner Joe Cava. We will break this game down for you and actually get into the game itself after a brief message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
And welcome back, folks. I'm Braden Altringer alongside my partner Joe Cava. And Joe, we have a great matchup for our folks this evening with Sheyenne coming at 8-6 overall. That'd be 8-5 in EDC. Shanley just a couple steps ahead of them at 9-3 in EDC, 10-3 overall. Last matchup of this contest between the Mustangs and the Deacons was at the home of Sheyenne, and that ended on a last-second shot by Riley Payne, sending the Deacons to victory lane. And Joe, we have another great matchup on our hands this evening. Now, we talked about both teams, kind of individual players. Now, who are your players to watch?
I'm really looking on Cheyenne Mustangs, Olivia Manson. She's a key player off the bench for them. She's been shooting really well from the three-point line, and I'm excited to see what she brings to the game tonight. And then for Shanley, I have Mariku Hakim. She's been a beast down low all season, so it's going to be interesting to see if Sheyenne will be able to stop her tonight.
Absolutely. Very talented players by both teams, so it'll be interesting to see who wins those individual matchups, shall we say. So we're just a few minutes away here from tip from Shanley. They are just finishing starting lineups, but we do have those lineups for you. And so the Deacons will go with Manuel, Payne, Huber, Mattern, and Hakim. Matching up against them for Cheyenne will be Huseth, Johnson, Goodiron, Feist, and Sanders. So it looks like they're just wrapping up starting lineups with Hakim getting introduced. And Joe, are you just ready to get going, or you got any final words before we get going?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the game. It was a great matchup last time, so hopefully it's another good matchup tonight.
And before we get started, we would like to mention that during the halftime of both games, we will be interviewing seniors for the Shanley Deacons. So during the girls' game, 2 boys players will be coming up, and we will be doing our senior spotlight. We started that just a few weeks ago, but we had some technical difficulties, so definitely want to stay tuned for those as we'll get to know the Deacon seniors just a little bit better. And so as the coaches are getting their final words in, we will be underway from McCormick Gymnasium for girls Eastern Dakota Conference basketball. So it looks like for Cheyenne, Feist is going to jump, and matching up against her for the Deacons will be Riley Payne. 2 very talented players on the basketball court, but also on the volleyball floor as well.
Yeah, for sure. They're just all-around athletes, and it's fun to see them compete in multiple sports.
And just like that, we are underway from Shanley High School for girls Eastern Dakota Conference basketball. So it's going to be Huseth over to Goodiron as the Deacons are going to come out and put some pressure on them right away in a 1-3-1 zone.
That's one thing I like about Shanley, how they can switch up their defenses.
Absolutely. Talking to Coach Jacobson earlier today, he said, you're not going to expect anything because we're going to keep switching it around, going man-to-man, 2-3, and also that 1-3-1 as we saw as they come out of the gates. Steal there for Cheyenne. We do have a stoppage in play. It looks like it is going to go out of bounds off of either Mattern or Hakim. So it will be Cheyenne basketball. It's going to be Huseth over to Johnson in front of the Shanley bench. Huseth over to Goodiron. 2-point shot goes up. Just not able to get it to go is Johnson as Hakim comes down with the rebound for Shanley. Huber sets up the offense for the Deacons. Mattern looking for a screen from Hakim, but decides to pick up her dribble and almost gets it taken away, but somehow gets down low and gets a foul called, it appears, as the official says it will be on the floor, out of bounds. Not sure who that foul was called on, but it will be called on Jolie Goodiron, first personal and first foul of tonight's contest.
Cheyenne's really come out tonight playing some good hard defense. They've really been up in Shanley's grill, so if they can keep that up all night, it'll be interesting.
And just as Cheyenne forces a turnover, and so just a few minutes in, Cheyenne forcing a couple turnovers for the Deacons, but still scoreless from Fargo. Down low as Sanders finds Huseth, but before she does that, the ball is tipped out of bounds off of Hakim, so we'll stay with Cheyenne with 16 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Looks like Shanley's going to be in a 2-3 zone. As Joe mentioned it earlier, they're very versatile and can go from defenses just like that, as a three-pointer is up and no good, but Feist gets the rebound and puts it up. 2 points for Cheyenne.
That's huge there on that zone. Shanley really needs to find a body and box out there, otherwise it might be a long night for him.
Absolutely. Shanley might be able to force some bad shots, but if they can't box out and get those rebounds, what good is that zone? As we do have a turnover to Cheyenne. I did not see the turnover there as I was checking the stat, but it will be Cheyenne ball. Deacons, just like that, going back to the 2-3 zone, putting a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, but Cheyenne able to break it nicely. Huseth up to Goodiron, who sets up the Cheyenne offense. It'll be Johnson, and it will be a foul called, so we'll send Sanders to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Cheyenne's doing a really good job of attacking the zone and making Shanley shift and move and getting their zone out of order. So if they can keep doing that, it'll be good for them.
Absolutely, as that first foul on the Deacons was called on Riley Payne. First attempt from Sanders is no good. And so we do have an early shout out. Good to see shout outs, guys. So if you are watching the game, make sure to get in contact us on our social media platforms. The first one, as a second free throw goes for Sanders, is from Dustin Payne, assistant coach for Shanley, who has gone on a trip for work. So thanks, Dustin, for tuning in. Down low, it is off of Shanley, so it will be a turnover and head back over to the Mustangs. Joe, and I'm not sure if Shanley's gotten a good look so far, as Cheyenne's are putting a lot of pressure on defense and on offense.
Yeah, they've been really struggling on the offensive end. They just need to kind of calm down here and take a deep breath.
Absolutely, as Goodiron swings it over to Johnson. Johnson down to Sanders, quick pass into Feist. Gets double teamed by Mattern and Hakim. Excellent ball movement from Cheyenne, showing no rust off of their last game, as that's tipped out of bounds off the Deacons, and we'll stay with Cheyenne.
That's one thing that really kills a zone, is that ball movement from Cheyenne. Getting the ball moving, getting the defense moving.
Absolutely is. It'll be Johnson throwing the ball in. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock as Huseth swings over to Goodiron. A little bit of trouble for Goodiron. Throws up a floater and not good, so it will be a shot clock violation on Cheyenne. And Joe, obviously we've seen that Shanley struggling a little bit in the first couple minutes. What do they need to do to kind of get their offense and defense going and try to get some points on the board?
They just need to take a deep breath and then set up one of their go-to plays. Every team has that play that they can score on. They just need to run that play, get the first basket down, just like that there.
Nice pass there inside to Payne, as Shanley is finally on the scoreboard. Huseth in front of Coach Jacobson of Shanley. Johnson back to Huseth. Quick pass over to Goodiron, who takes a long three and no good, as rebound comes down to Mattern. Mattern trying to push the pace a little bit, see if she can get a quick basket in transition, which she is not able to do so, with Sanders coming down with the rebound for Cheyenne. Tough defense for Manuel on Goodiron. Goodiron setting up the offense for Cheyenne. Down inside to Feist, who gets the foul called on Hakim, it will appear. And it looks like they are going to call that on the floor, so no free throw attempts, but the ball will be underneath Cheyenne hoop.
Those are always tough for a post player defending there. When you think you're straight up, but you got a little bit of a lean there, that's always a tough one.
Goodiron swings up top to Huseth. Bounce pass over to Johnson. Drives baseline, nice inside pass to Sanders, who kind of gets stuffed there by Hakim. And it will be Shanley ball. Try to take the lead for the first time tonight. Payne, quick pass to Manuel, takes the open three and gets it to go as she is perfect from behind the arc.
That was just nice pass and shot there. Get the ball moving and just make the open shots.
Low momentum shift here as Sheyenne turns the ball over. Silly turnover there, I would say, as my dad would say too. Just throws it right out of bounds. There's no one really close to Sheyenne there, so it'll be Deacon ball.
The coach is telling her right now, we just got to take care of the ball and just make smart plays.
A couple of players checking in for Cheyenne's sends Sanders and Goodiron to the bench. Sheyenne playing their man-to-man defense. Huber finds Payne down low. Nice pass. Thought she had an open Hakim there, but the newly checked in Sydney Nelson gets in and gets the steal. As it looks like the near official is going to call carrying violation, I believe, on Sheyenne. So it will be Deacons ball with just under 14 minutes remaining in the first half.
That was a nice break for Shanley there. They gave up a turnover, but then they got it right back. So that's very fortunate.
Nice pass to Mattern, and she's able to connect, giving the Deacons a 4-point lead.
That's really where I think Shanley can win this game at tonight, is getting in the paint and just really boarding and getting those putback buckets.
Johnson up top, over to Joe's player to watch Manson. Almost throws it out of bounds, and it looks like it will go off on Sydney Nelson, who just couldn't quite corral that pass from Manson.
That's another one of those plays that they just got to calm down and make sure the person they're passing to is ready for the ball.
Second one in a row, because that first one went right in front of Shanley's bench. So we'll have to see if they can figure that out and get on the same page so there are no more turnovers for Sheyenne. Hubert gets a screen from Hakim and gets it right down to her, but nice volleyball swat, shall we say, from Feist. Checking in for Shanley will be Hodel and Dabbert for Manuel and Mattern. You know, a lot of people are questioning who's going to step up for Kate Busick, but Hodel and Dabbert have done an excellent job coming off the bench. How important is it to have those bench players step up? I mean, kind of midway through the season, approaching postseason play. How important is that?
It's super important, especially losing a player like Kate Busick. That was a huge loss for Shanley, but those two have filled the role really nicely, and it's huge just to have those players that can come off the bench and give your team that spark.
Absolutely, as we do have a couple of Cheyenne players checking in. Looks like that's going to be Sanders checking back in and Breidenbach checking in for the first time. So that last foul was on 13, Jaden Feist. First personal, second team foul. Payne inbounding the ball underneath her own hoop. Gets it up to Huber just in front of the half-court line. Hodel, nice move inside. Gets up the floater, just gets it over the front of the rim for 2 points for Shanley.
That was a nice drive there by Hodel.
3-2 zone, it looks like. Now they're going to drop back into that 2-3 zone. Feist trying to go to work on Hakim. Gets a little hole, but not able to get it to go as she is able to come down with the rebound. Goes up and gets the foul called. We'll send it to the line for 2 free throws.
That's one thing Shanley can't afford, those second chance buckets. They got to go up and get the rebound and get out and transition. The second chance buckets can kill a team.
As Feist is at the line for 2 shots. That last foul was on 31, Mariku Hakim, which will most likely send her to the bench as Emily Strema now checks in for Shanley. Also back into the game for Huseth and Cheyenne is Goodiron. Second attempt from Feist. Up, and that one sinks through. Deficit only 5 now for Cheyenne. Huber looking for someone to pass to. Finds Dabbert on the top of the key. Gives it to Strema. Goes up for a left-handed layup. Not able to get it to go as Feist comes down with the board. Goodiron drives down. Kicks it out. 2-3. Breidenbach puts up the long 2. Not able to get it to go as she almost misses everything. Nice pass from Huber, who recently eclipsed the 1,000 points for Shanley. So definitely playing with a lot of confidence as she gets that 2-point basket to go.
Yeah, she's definitely another one of those key players that needs to have a good game tonight.
That's going to be Payne with the long 2. Can't get it to go as rebound comes down to Goodiron. Huber putting a little bit of pressure with Payne. It looks like they are going to call a blocking foul on Payne, as that probably could have got gone either way, as it looked like Payne had some decent position, but they are going to call it on Payne.
Yeah, that was about a 50-50 call. I'm sure the ref saw something we didn't see, but that could have gone both ways.
That'll be the second personal on Payne already. A little surprised that no one's checking in for her.
Yeah, Shanley's kind of struggling with a little bit of foul trouble with Hakeem with 2 and Payne with 2. They might need to want to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it always hurts having people in foul trouble, but 2 of probably your 3 best players experience foul trouble about 6 minutes in is definitely going to be something to watch for Shanley. Manson over to Breidenbach in the corner, drives, nice bounce pass into Feist, right over Payne for the 2-point basket.
That's good basketball right there.
That's just great basketball. I can't say it any better myself. That's just fun to watch. As Dabbert drives baseline, goes up for the shot, gets her own rebound, and gets the second attempt to go. Extensively back out to 7 for Shanley.
It was good how she didn't give up on her shot there. Some players will shoot it and then they'll all start getting back on defense. She stuck with it and she got her own rebound and put it in.
Breidenbach's 3-point attempt just short as it grazes the front of the rim. Rebound coming down to Shanley. Huber over to Strema, down, nice pass into Payne. 2-point basket again. Just a nice basketball play as Payne gets the 2-point basket to go.
Exactly. Payne knew where she had to be to get that ball in, and she did a great job.
Goodiron into the corner to Sanders. Up to Goodiron, over to Breidenbach. Over to Manson in front of Shanley bench. Back up to Breidenbach, who just saves it from being an over and back violation on the Mustangs. Goodiron with another long 3-point attempt. Same conclusion as the last one as it hits the back of the rim and comes down to Shanley.
Shanley's doing a really nice job with that zone, making Cheyenne make those tough shots. So they're really testing them to prove them that they can shoot.
Shanley a little bit lucky there as it goes off of Cheyenne, so the ball will stay with Shanley. Checking back into the game for Cheyenne will be 23, J.C. Clemens. Huber drives inside, gets the foul call, not able to get to basket, but will be sent to the line for 2 shots.
That was a really nice drive there by Huber, just knowing that she had her player beat and that she could get to the rack for a shot, and then obviously
the foul call as well, yes. As Huber's first attempt is up and perfect. Few players checking into the game for Cheyenne. Looks like that's going to be Huseth and Johnson. Second attempt is also good. 2 for 2 from the line is Huber. Largest lead of the game for Shanley is 11. A little bit of switch of momentum like we saw earlier as Cheyenne had the hot start, but now Shanley hasn't looked back with an 11-point lead.
Yeah, Cheyenne's just kind of been stunned right away here. They just kind of need to settle down and start playing their brand of basketball.
Looked like Strema might have got away with the travel there, but does not matter as Huseth is able to come away with the ball. Payne with the rebound for Shanley. Gets it out to Huber. Trying to push the pace a little bit. Finds an open Strema down low. Nice pass from Huber. Able to do it both. Able to score and able to dish the ball to open players. Excellent player there for the Deacons.
Cheyenne's doing a really good job with Shanley's doing a really good job with pushing the floor, keeping the tempo up, and keeping Cheyenne on their heels.
And we do have a second shout out for our fans this evening. It's going to be Kay and Marvin from Fargo, North Dakota, grandparents of Cooper Madden. Thanks, Kay and Marvin, for checking in and tuning in. And so we do have the boys matchup of this coming after this game at about 7:30. Do you have any players to watch for Cheyenne?
For the guys, I'm going to be watching Tyler Terhart. His athleticism is bar none, some of the best in the state. He can jump through the roof. It's pretty crazy.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but you guys are going to be teammates next year, so I'm guessing you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am excited, to be playing with Tyler it'll be fun playing with him next year at NDSU.
You're going to have a lot of fun there. Any players to watch for Shanley on the other hand?
Shanley, I'm going to be watching Roman Strema. He's the big guy down low. If he can get his game going and start getting some boards for Shanley, it'll be an interesting game tonight.
Absolutely. So remember, folks, stay tuned for that one, as that will be about 20 minutes. They say about 7:30, but it's going to be about 20 minutes after the conclusion of the girls' game. And so for the Deacons, looks like they're going to play about 50% defense as they're going to start about half court. Now Huber going up to Cheyenne's 3-point line as they are going to play a little bit of zone here, see if they can force another turnover. Huseth picked up her dribble, able to find good iron on the other side of the court as Shanley flops back to their 1-3-1 zone. Nice move, finds an open Sanders, and just able to rattle it in is Sanders for 2 points. Quick pass to Hodel, open lane, see if she can take advantage, but not able to do so as Sanders is able to get in there at the last minute, kind of deflect that shot.
Yeah, it looked like there was just a little miscommunication there by Sheyenne.
Huseth down to Sanders, back to Huseth. Over to Johnson. Huseth trying to look for somewhere to drive. Finds an open Clemens who uses the backboard and gets it in. 9-point deficit for Sheyenne as they do have a little bit of momentum right now. See if they can use it and force another turnover.
Yeah, the Mustangs are just getting the ball moving a little more, making the Shanley defense work, and it's really wearing them down.
Hodel over to Dabbert. Dabbert finds Huber in front of Coach Hintz and Sheyenne. Trying to drive in the middle, but nice pass just deflects off the hands of Payne. So it'll be a turnover to Sheyenne as a couple players check in for both squads.
That was a really key timeout for Sheyenne, their last time out there. It really calmed the players down and just kind of settled them into the game a little bit.
Yeah, good timeout by Brent Hintz, head coach of Sheyenne. Deacons applying a little bit of pressure as Manuel and Payne are trying to trap the ball as Brian Bach is just able to get it to Johnson, who goes to the hoop, gets the foul called, and will be sent to the charity stripe for 2.
That was a good drive there. She saw that she had the post, Emily Schramer on her, and knew that she could get her around her and get the foul called.
First attempt is good, and it'll be an 8-point deficit now for Sheyenne. Goes 2 for 2 from the line. Deficit now just 7 as it once was out to 13. Huber to Manuel, over to Dabbert, takes the open 3-point attempt, just long. I think it missed everything, and the rebound comes. Looks like it's going to go off of Shrema, and we'll go over to Sheyenne.
It looks like Sheyenne has dropped into a 2-3 zone now, kind of like Shanley there. Just making Shanley prove that they can shoot. So
kind of saying that they can be versatile too and switch up their defense.
Exactly.
See how Shanley can respond to that. Huber over to Payne. Has a little bit of space here, she'll use it. Passes up the 3-point attempt. Gives it over to Shrema, who just took her eyes off of it for a second. And it goes right through her hand, so we'll turn back over to Sheyenne.
Those are the ones you always hate as a player, when you think you got it in your hands and it just slips right out.
Kind of thinking just one step too quick almost and want to do the next play.
Exactly.
But you got to take the ball in first because you definitely need that to score. Nice deflection there by Mattern, and it will be Deacons' ball with about 7:30 remaining in the first half. Mattern over to Huber to Payne, takes the 3-point attempt. Not able to get it to go, but very nice passing for Shanley there. Getting an open attempt from Payne. A little bit of a trip there by Brian Bach, who gets it. Huber looks like he's going to come away with it. Finds Emmanuel, who goes up for the right-handed layup. Just puts it off the glass a little too much. Maybe the pressure got to her a little bit, but it looks like it is going to go over to Sheyenne. You know, that was one of my worst fears, is either tripping over just a random spot in the court or missing one of those easy layups down low when you got an open lane.
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes those open layups are the hardest ones to make because, you know, there's no pressure, but there is all the pressure because everybody's watching you.
You'd think it would be really easy, but everyone's expecting you to make it, so just applies a little more pressure on the shooter. Payne. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Shanley's hands have been really good on defense. They've really been getting their hands on the ball and getting those deflections.
Man, it looks like she wants to take it. Was a little hesitant, and the rebound's going to come down to Sheyenne and Manson.
On that one, she just needs to pull the trigger on it. She's a little hesitant, but you got to trust yourself, know that you're going to make the shot and put it in.
Looks like a little bit of a questionable call there as they're going to call Huber on the block. Going to ask the official what she did, but from my angle, it looks like that might have been an offensive foul. But again, the refs get paid to call the play. So.
Exactly, yeah.
It'll be Huseth bringing the ball up the floor for Sheyenne. Picks up her dribble in a tough spot as Goodire needs to get it across the floor to avoid that 10-second violation. Feist puts up the 2 and gets it to go for Sheyenne. Lead is now only 5 for Shanley as it was out to 13 at one point.
The momentum has definitely swung in this game.
Yeah, this is a game of momentum shifts as it started with Sheyenne, went to Shanley for a little while, and Sheyenne now has it with Hakim, gets the rebound, puts it up, not able to get it to go as Payne steps out of bounds trying to save the ball, so it will turn over to Sheyenne.
That's one thing Cheyenne's really doing well with Hakim is that when she gets the ball, they're all collapsing down on her and not letting her be able to make a move down there.
A little 1-3-1 zone for Shanley as Sheyenne tries to bring it across half court. Sheyenne needs to get it across half court in about 2 seconds to avoid that, but Manuel able to redeem herself here with the 2-point layup, and that always feels good as a player, getting that redemption after the miss.
Exactly, yeah. She got it back, so she should be happy about that.
Down low is Johnson, puts up a 2-point shot, not able to get it to go as Payne comes down with the rebound. Maybe a little momentum shift back to the Deacons, as we'll see if they can score on this possession. Payne, open 3-point attempt, can't get it to go, but Mattern comes down with the board for Shanley. Manuel corrals it for the Deacons. Sheyenne in that 2-3 zone Joe was talking about. Mattern up to Huber, finds an open lane to Manuel, over to Payne. Open 3 near side here, just long as Sheyenne comes down with the board. Good Iron drives baseline, goes forward the reverse and gets it to go. Heck of a play there from Good Iron.
That's always pretty to see a player making a reverse layup. That's always nice.
Manuel, ball on the near side, swings it over to Huber. Nice pass inside from Huber to Payne. Excellent play there again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say about that.
Yeah, that's just a good find there by Huber, seeing Payne open down low and threading the needle.
Youssef, first shot attempt for the game is not good as Payne comes down with the rebound. Manuel drives baseline, nice move. Gets met by a Feist, but able to get it to go over the Feist. So a little bit of confidence rolling now for Shanley as they're back out to 9 points. Do you think Cheyenne's going to come back out of this timeout like they did the first and have a good momentum boost and kind of get back into this game again?
I mean, it's always hard to tell, but I'm sure the coach is going to make a few adjustments, and I'm sure it'll help Sheyenne out a lot. But one thing about the game tonight is it's been really fast-paced. It's been back and forth, so I'm sure both teams are feeling a little fatigued right now. So it's just good to get your players a little breather.
Another thing to mention is Shanley is at 6 fouls, and Sheyenne is only at 3. I mean, whenever you have your fouls at a minimal number, that's definitely going to help keeping players out of foul trouble, but also the other team off of the free throw line.
For sure, especially now late in the quarter, the bonus is a big thing. So
yeah, once that bonus starts creeping up, getting free points when the clock is stopped is huge for each team. So it'll be Sheyenne ball coming out of the timeout underneath Shanley's hoop. So it will be Manuel Huber in the backcourt for Shanley trying to force a turnover. Nelson with the ball, swings it over to Sanders. Sanders over to Clemens. Clemens, not sure if that was tipped, and they are going to say that was tipped off of the fingers of Manuel, I believe. So it will be Cheyenne ball.
I really like how Shanley's starting up with one person up on their press, just to apply a little bit of pressure to the point guard and make them a little nervous.
And sometimes that's all it takes, just having that feel that someone's there, that
Exactly.
nervousness that you were talking about. Brian Bach up top, finds an open Feist. Open 2-point shot right about the free throw line. Not able to get it to go, but able to get it to go is Sanders with the rebound and putback.
That was just nice on Cheyenne to find the gaps, find where the zone's open, and get the open shot, and then the putback.
Payne over to Mattern. Has an open Huber and does find that pass. Who kicks it right back to Payne, back to Huber. Huber looking for Hakim down low, but Feist doing an excellent job guarding her. Manuel. And again, we see another big swat for Feist, showing that athleticism in that volleyball court and on the basketball
Exactly.
court.
It reminds me of when she's out on the volleyball court playing that with that swat there.
So it will be Shanley ball after the swat by Feist. And Feist beating one of the leading rebounders for Cheyenne. Coming into this game with 20. Already has 2 on the night. So that'll rack up to 22. Excuse me, I'm looking at that wrong. That'll only be about 10. I was looking at the steals, not the blocks. But still a crazy amount for high school basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah, those are good stats for high school basketball.
As that'll be Sanders bringing the ball up the floor for Cheyenne. Down low to Clemens. Trying to go to work on Shramo, but Shramo holding her ground, not giving her a lane, and gets that out of there with the block. Gets another block, but they are going to call a foul on that play. So it'll be Sanders at the line for 2 shots.
That's tough for Shrema there. She was doing so well, hands straight up and down, and then she swung a little bit there at the end, and they got her for the foul.
She would have got that ball after that first block. It would have been an excellent play, but just not
Exactly.
able to corral it as Sanders heads to the line for 2. First attempt, no good as it rattles out. And that last foul was on 33 Shrema, her second personal, so that Sheyenne Mustangs are now in the bonus for the remainder of the half. Shrema comes down with the rebound. Payne up to Mattern. Mattern drives baseline. Nice pass to Manuel to Huber for an open 3-point attempt, and no good as it is just long. Looks like it clipped the antenna. It's moving a little bit, but the officials did not see it. Looks like Mattern got hit in the face a little bit. It looks like she is holding it on. Not sure if there's blood.
It might be blood. It could be a contact. I'm not really sure from up here, but whatever it is.
It does not look pretty or fun.
Yeah, it does not. She's looking. I think they're bringing in a sub for her.
Yeah,
right
it looks
now.
like Dabbert is going to come in for Mattern. As it looks like Brian Bach's going to head to the line for 2 shots after the foul was on Hadley Huber, her second. So third player for Shanley now, 2 fouls. Definitely going to be something to watch as we start the second half in just a couple minutes. First attempt from Brian Bach is perfect. Deficit only 6 now for Sheyenne. To complete the pair from the line is Brian Bach. And it is also perfect as Huseth and Johnson check in for Sheyenne.
Yeah, that's always huge in big games, being able to make your free throws from the line, you know. And sometimes that's what it comes down to. So being able to sink those 2 free throws is huge.
Manuel over to Huber, to Payne. Manuel, Deacons doing an excellent job beating that press. Definitely experienced with that, probably facing that quite a few times in practice. Manuel, 2-point attempt, gets fouled, does not convert, but will go to the line for 2 free throw attempts. So only the 4th team foul on Sheyenne, so no worries about the bonus quite yet. A couple more though, and that will start creeping up as a first personal on 14 Sanders. First one rattles in for Manuel.
And that's one thing that you were saying a little bit earlier, Shanley, because kind of in a little bit of foul trouble right now. So in the second half, it'll be interesting to see how they come out, if they're a little less aggressive or.
Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened here as we're both kind of questioning. Looks like they're going to call an over the line on Manuel.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of, she stepped over the line on that free throw.
I think you're right there. So that shot will not count as the ball will go back to Sheyenne. And that's good to see. Mattern goes to the bench. Must have just been a contact as we don't see any bandages up around the face. So that is a good sign for Shanley. As we do have a foul, I believe that's going to be called on Shrema going up for the rebound. That is going to be on Shrema, her 3rd already. So that's both their big guys with 3 personals on Shrema and 2 on Hakim. So definitely something to watch as Johnson goes to the line for the 1-and-1. Looks like there's going to be a little talk between the officials if it's a 1-and-1 or on the shot, but it is going to be 1-and-1, the official does say.
Shooting a 1-and-1.
And Joe, you kind of mentioned how free throws were important. Again, can you reiterate how important those free throws are, making them early and often?
Yes, they're super important, especially now that Cheyenne's in the bonus. To make these easy points that Shanley's giving them with the foul is just super important to the first half of this game.
As the second attempt is no good as Manuel pushes the pace for the Deacons. Looks like she is going to turn it over. Are they going to call a jump ball? They are going to call a jump ball, so it will stay with Shanley as just about 2:30 remaining in the first half. And remember, folks, stay tuned for at the conclusion of this half, we will be interviewing, I believe, Talon Hoffer and Jackson Lyer of the Shanley boys basketball team in the senior spotlight.
That'll definitely be a fun interview.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. As Manuel gets the ball from Payne, finds Huber up top, sets up the Deacons offense right over to the newly checked in Mattern. As Hodel puts it up, somehow gets that to go, and will be sent to the line to convert the 3-point play.
Those ones are just sometimes so fun. You know, you just throw it up, hoping it'll go in, and then it falls in. There's nothing better than that.
Not expecting much to go, but shoot some free throws, but somehow able to get it to go, and you're always going to take that. As Hodel is not able to convert the 3-point play, but Manuel comes down with the board for Shanley. Huber drives, gets fouled, not able to get it to go, almost able to get it to go, almost had 2 in a row. That would have been pretty sweet. But nevertheless, Huber to the line for 2 shots.
Cheyenne's coach isn't very happy. He's yelling at his players right now. They need a box out, and indeed they do.
Yeah, a couple box outs here and there. We probably don't have a few fouls, and next foul on Cheyenne. Shanley will be in the bonus, so just like that, flip of the switch, and Shanley's going to get some free points at the line as Huber's first attempt is good.
And that's huge too. 13 Feist has 3 fouls,
Yeah,
and she's a key player for
just
Cheyenne.
about to mention that as both big guys for each team have 3 fouls now, so definitely something to watch. Johnson leading the attack for Cheyenne. Double teamed by Manuel and Huber, but gets it off to Huseth. Huseth over to Johnson, who swings it over to Brian Bach.
Good ball movement by Cheyenne right now, just moving the rock around.
Clemens able to get between a couple of Deacons players, and that's set up by excellent passing like Joe touched on. Deficit only 6 now for the Mustangs. Hodel over to an open Manuel, takes the 3-point attempt and gets it to go as she is now perfect from the 3-point line, I believe. Going 2 for 2. Extends lead back out to 9 for Shanley.
Those have been 2 huge threes for Shanley tonight. Just kind of getting them over that hump of where it's a little more comfortable for them.
Absolutely. It looks like Sanders just dribbled that right off her foot, so we'll turn over to Shanley. It looks like we do have a timeout on the floor, so we would like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So as both teams break their timeouts, about 1:30 remaining. If you're Coach Hintz and Cheyenne, what are you looking to get out of your team in this last minute and 30 seconds?
Playing good defense and just not fouling right now. Not putting Shanley in the bonus and just maybe scoring a few points, but just playing good, solid defense, and then they're going to go into halftime and they'll adjust. But he just wants to get into halftime right now at this point.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to maybe use some of that advice you have. I think that's great advice. As it looks like they're going to come out in a man-to-man. It looks like for a little bit they're going to be in a 3-2, but they are going to play man-to-man defense.
That's smart now that they saw that Manuel's been hitting those threes. It's good to get back into a man-to-man, get a hand in the face.
Yep, once a shooter gets going, it's tough to stop them. As Hodel now has the ball. In a little bit of a twist, trying to find someone, finds an open Payne, who finds open Huber. Far 3-point line, not able to get to go, but rebound comes down to, from our angle, it looked like she just got absolutely clobbered on the hand, but the refs did not see it.
I think we might have had a better angle on that one than the refs did. She did get clobbered on that play.
I think you're right, but it will be Cheyenne ball as Clemens goes to work down on Manuel. Not able to get it to go. Third rebound for Clemens. Able to get it to go, and the foul call will send him to the line to attempt the 3-point play.
Coach Jacobson is quite upset about that one. He had 3 players on her, and she got the rebound 3 different times and then put it in for an end one. So
yeah, you can't be happy when you're outnumbering 3-1, and somehow she's able to get the basket and the foul, maybe get a free point from the line. And she is able to do so. Clemens converting the 3-point play. Dabbert checking in for Payne, who has 3 fouls. So that's a number of players for Shanley, who has a few fouls. So we'll see if that plays a role later in the second half.
Right now, if I'm Coach Jacobson, I'm definitely thinking of a strategy at halftime, how I'm going to deal with my players that have 3 fouls, when I'm going to put them in, and when I'm going to use them in the second half.
Absolutely. Looks like we do have a foul called, and it looks like all the officials agreed that there was a foul. And it will be Mattern to the line for the 1-and-1, as that is the 7th team foul on Cheyenne. First personal, though, on Paige Johnson. First end of the 1-and-1 from Mattern is up and perfect.
It's been some good free throw shooting tonight. That's always fun to see when both teams are making their free throws.
To convert the 1-and-1 is Mattern. And not able to do so, but Manuel again getting a rebound off the free throw attempt.
She's just getting that quick step. That's a tough one.
Kind of jinxed her there. She threw it right out of bounds, almost into our direction. So it will be Cheyenne ball.
But back to that free throw, Manuel's just been getting that quick step around her defender and being able to get the ball.
Down low is Johnson, goes to work. Coach Jacobson wondering where the travel is, but I didn't see one. Nice play by Johnson.
He's very upset about that call, but I didn't see the travel either. So
Dabber near side, three-point line, finds Huber. Huber looking for a lane, finds an open middle of the lane, gets it up, not able to get the basket, but will be sent to the line for 2 shots. Second personal on. Looks like that's going to be Sanders, so it'll be 8th team foul. Not much to worry about as there's only 7 seconds remaining in the first half. A couple of players checking in for Sheyenne. Looks like that's going to be Manson. Second free throw attempt from Huber is perfect. So 7-point lead now for Shanley. 4-3, and we are going to have a travel call with 3 seconds left. So you got to think there's time for a couple dribbles and a shot by Shanley.
Exactly, yeah. If Cheyenne there really just needed to take care of the ball and get the last shot of the half. But
and here's some of that smart coaching you were talking about, putting Payne in for an offensive possession with 3 seconds. Not much to worry about getting a foul called on the offensive end. Open Hodel for the 3-point attempt at the buzzer and gets it to go. You always love to see that. That's fun to watch.
That's always fun to watch when you get a buzzer beater before the end of the half.
So what does Sheyenne, before we get into that senior spotlight, what does Sheyenne need to do coming out into the second half to maybe get back into this game a little bit?
Cheyenne just needs to start getting out to the shooters, getting a hand up and playing a little more solid defense. And then on the offensive end, they've been doing a pretty good job with moving the ball around and just keep getting inside because Shanley's really been struggling with the rebounding.
Yep, sounds good. So we are going to get the headset over to Talon Hoffer and Jackson Lyer of the boys basketball team for our senior spotlight. Again, we did start that a few weeks ago, but we had some technical difficulties, so we were just able to get one of the interviews. Well, Talon, it's good to hear. Can you hear me? I'm guessing you can hear. Here we go. There we go. Now we can hear you too. So, kind of ready. Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So, first question. We're going to start with some easier questions, and then we're going to get into the basketball questions. So, first question: what is your favorite food?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Big
and
dessert guy.
Big dessert guy. I gotta love dessert. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Mine's red, so a little bit there. You a Netflix or Disney Plus kind of guy?
Right now, I'd say Netflix.
Netflix, okay. I haven't really gotten that Disney Plus bandwagon, but I'll stick with Netflix. Do you like staying in or going to hang out with friends?
Hanging out with friends.
Yeah, it's always fun. Nike or Under Armour guy?
Nike for sure.
Nike, yeah, me too. Summer or winter?
Winter.
All right, now are you a truth or dare kind of guy?
Dare.
Oh, too bad I didn't have a good dare for him. All right, so now going back to kind of the basketball things, what's your pregame snack or ritual that you do before every game?
I normally have a peanut butter jelly sandwich right after school, take a nap quick, and then just come to.
That's classic. I gotta love the PB&J. When did you start playing the game of basketball?
When I was 3 or 4, I think.
3 or 4? That's
Got
pretty
my
young.
first hoop.
That's impressive. What is your favorite memory or moment from Shanley High School basketball?
State tournament sophomore year. That was a fun time.
Key contributor for Shanley in that state tournament run. What will you miss most about playing for Shanley?
Probably just the camaraderie we have as a team. Great bunch of guys, and it's great brotherhood.
Yeah, definitely a great family. You can tell from the outside even. I'm guessing it's even better on the inside. What advice would you give to the underclassmen who still have a couple years left in the basketball program for Shanley?
Just keep working hard, dream big, anything's possible.
Absolutely. And one last question. Do you have any plans for next year yet, or are those still in the works?
Still in the works.
Still
I
in
have
the
no
works?
clue what I'm
Well,
gonna do
hopefully
yet.
we'll eventually be able to figure that out, and you'll have a good next year. Talon, thank you for joining me. Now we're going to get the mic over to Jackson Lyer. Jackson, another key contributor for the Shanley boys basketball team this year, stepping up in a big role, being that senior leader for Shanley. So we're going to do pretty close to similar questions that Talon Hoffer had. So are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, first question. Favorite food?
Ooh, I got to go with steak.
Steak? Big
Yep,
steak guy.
big
Medium
steak
well,
guy.
medium? What kind of?
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Ooh.
Medium rare.
All righty. What's your favorite color?
I like red.
Red?
Red's
Hey,
mine.
That's
Yep.
it. That's me too. Are you a Netflix or Disney Plus kind of guy?
Netflix. I don't have
Netflix.
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
so.
me either. So I kind of got to be Netflix then. Are you a staying in, or are you going to hang out with friends kind of guy?
I like hanging out with friends.
Hanging out with friends?
Yep.
Okay. Works for all of us then. Nike or Under Armour?
I got to go with Nike.
Yeah, everyone I've talked to has been Nike so far, so we'll have to see if some of the other seniors are Under Armour people. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer? You don't like the ODR in the winter? You like that? Just
I do, but
lake,
the
lake's
lake.
a little bit more?
Yeah, lake
I
life.
can't turn that down. I respect that. Are you a truth or dare kind of guy?
I'd say truth.
Truth? Okay, that's me.
Truth.
Good thing. I had a really good dare for you. Not talent, but I had a good dare
Shoot.
for you. What's your pregame snack or ritual?
I usually stop by Herbert's and Gerbert's before the game.
Obviously gluten-free?
Yeah, gluten-free.
Big gluten-free guy. You know,
Yep.
I was about to ask you gluten or extra gluten, but alrighty. What is your favorite basketball memory or moment from Shanley?
Probably just hanging out with the boys.
Hanging out with the boys?
Spend time with the boys.
Yeah, can't turn that down. What are you going to miss most about playing for Shanley?
Just how much of a tight-knit community is.
Yeah, it sounds like a great family. As everyone I've talked to has mentioned how close of a family it is. And what are you going to, excuse me, what advice would you give to those underclassmen who still have a couple years left in the program?
Work ethic is big.
Yeah.
You might not be the most talented guy on the court at all times, but you can always give your hardest.
Absolutely. When did you start playing basketball?
Third grade.
Third grade. That's pretty young. I think I want to say I started in fifth before I called it quits a couple of years ago. And final question, any plans for next year? I think you have some, right?
Yeah, next year I'm going to NDSU.
NDSU. That's exciting. You know what you want to major in yet? Or?
I'm thinking accounting, but...
Yeah, you got time. That'll always switch.
Yeah.
And folks, thank you. Jackson, thank you. It's been
Thanks,
a pleasure.
Braden.
So we have about 6 minutes until we get the second half of girls basketball underway on Shanley TV. And welcome back, folks. Again, I am Brayden Altringer alongside my partner, Joe Cava, as we welcome you back from our halftime break. And, Joe, we have an excellent matchup on our hands here this evening as Shanley holds a 10-point lead as we're about to begin the second half. What does each team need to do to be successful and win this game?
I mean, they just need to keep playing their brand of basketball. Cheyenne's going to have to rack up a few stops here on defense to make up for the 10 points that they're down by. And then Shanley just needs to keep their foot on the gas pedal and just keep scoring at the rate that they're scoring at.
So out of the halftime break, the ball will be with Sheyenne, as both teams have a few players in foul trouble. So definitely want to keep our eyes on that, as I've been telling you all game. It's definitely going to play a factor, though, in the second half.
Yes, for sure. Shanley is definitely struggling with that foul trouble.
So Deacons come out in a 2-3 zone as they find Feist right away, but not able to get it to go, and rebound coming down to Payne. And sometimes you think that would be a momentum, as you think the basket's going to go in for Sheyenne, but sometimes that can do the opposite and give Shanley a little bit of boost because they think they had a good possession on the defensive end.
Yes, for sure. And you definitely can tell in those last two plays there, Feist is playing smart, knowing that she has 3 fouls.
Nice senior leadership coming out of the halftime for Huseth as she gets the 2-point layup to go. Mattern able to somehow to get that to go, kind of fading away. Nice shot there by Mattern. She just has enough power to get it over the rim off the backboard. And as Sheyenne brings the ball up the floor, we do have a couple shout-outs from you. First one comes from Mary Cava, mother of Joe Cava. Thanks for tuning in, Mary. And then our second one comes from my mom, Connie. Mom, thanks for tuning in and always supporting. And our third one comes from Rita Visser from Washington, D.C. Rita, thanks for tuning in. And thanks, guys, for getting in contact with us on our social media. And remember, if you want a shout-out, get in contact with us on our social media platforms. Hakim comes down with the rebound for Shanley as Huber pushes the ball across the half-court line. Manuel to the hoop, not able to get it to go. Rebound comes down to Hakim, who gets the rebound and put back for Shanley.
That's what Hakim needs to keep doing all night, getting those rebounds and getting the putbacks. Those are huge buckets for Shanley.
Foul will be called on Shanley here. First personal on Manuel, as well as first team foul on Shanley this half. Now throwing it in is Good Iron. Huseth with the ball on the near side here. Good Iron 3-point attempt. Not able to get it to go as it clanks off the board and rim. And rebound comes down to Payne, who extends it right out to Huber. 3-on-2 for Shanley. Manuel takes a 2-point jumper. Not able to get it to go. We have a foul called on Hakim, which is not good for Shanley, as I believe that's her third personal now.
That's actually her fourth.
That is her fourth.
Yeah.
You are right, Joe. Fourth personal. And no one getting off the bench for Shanley.
Yeah.
And now Coach Jacobson gets Hodel off the bench, I'm assuming coming in for Hakim with 4 fouls pretty early.
Exactly.
Still 60 minutes left in the game.
Right now, I'd be a little worried that Hakim is still in the game with 4 fouls. You never know if she's going to pick up that 5th one just by chance. I mean, we obviously hope not, but.
Absolutely. As Huber now has the ball for the Deacons, kind of trapped there by Feist, who gets it off to Mattern. Nice handoff there. And Mattern, again, able to get the basket to go, kind of fading away. Maybe that's her signature move.
Yeah, she's just been ducking and weaving out there and making it go in, so if she can keep that up, it might be a long night for Sheyenne.
Good Iron to Feist, goes right at the hoop and not able to get it to go. She goes down hard, but able to come back up as Payne throws it right out of bounds over the scores table. And it will be Cheyenne ball. So Payne, instead of Hakim going to the bench, it will be Payne going to the bench. Hakim still with those 4 fouls. I'm kind of curious if maybe the scoreboard is wrong or if Steve Jacobson's kind of testing his luck this evening.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That's very interesting for Coach Jacobson there, keeping Hakim in if she has the 4 fouls, which.
A nice rebound by Feist, who gets the basket to go. Lead now 12. Still a little bit of space that Cheyenne needs to make up.
That was a great drop step there by Feist, knowing that the defender was behind her and she could pin her back with her leg.
Hodel 2-point floater and gets it to go. Shanley having some success on those floaters as the lead is back out to 14 for the Deacons. Good Iron with the ball. Finds an open Johnson down low, who probably a smart move going right at the hoop as Hakim is guarding her with those 4 personal fouls. Definitely thought that could have been a 3-second violation on Johnson down low, but refs decide not to call it.
That's smart on Cheyenne, definitely driving the lane, attacking Hakim, knowing she has those 4 fouls and knowing that she can't foul them. It's very smart on their part to keep attacking
Right there,
her.
the experience, just like you said, comes from Huseth, who goes right at Hakim, and Hakim can't do much besides stand there and able to get the 2-point basket to go. Hakim now with the ball, you don't want her with the ball out there so far, but gets the foul called on the floor. Looks like it'll be ball underneath Shanley's hoop. Manson checking back into the game for Sheyenne, as well as Breidenbach. Sends Good Iron and Feist to the bench, and Feist does have those 4 personals, so each team has a player with 4 personals. So we'll have to see how long Feist has to stay on the bench.
That's a big loss for Cheyenne. Feist is just a dominant player down in the post, so it'll be interesting to see how they can bounce back from losing her for now as she goes and takes a seat on the bench.
Yeah, losing your leading rebounder is definitely tough, especially with 14 minutes left. We'll have to see if Shanley is able to take advantage of that.
And that's another coaching strategy. When are you going to put those players back in, and when in like the game to see when you need them the most?
So lead now 13 after the first attempt is good. To complete the pair is Huber from the charity stripe. And not able to do so as it just kind of goes in and out. So 13-point lead for Shanley with 14 minutes remaining in tonight's contest. Oh, swatted ball there by Manuel. Not able to get it in possession, but able to force a turnover, as it looked like Huseth took one too many steps, and it will be a travel call. So it'll be Shanley ball, Hodel throwing it in right next to the scores table. Manuel over to Hakim. Cheyenne switches to a 2-3 zone. Hodel looking for someone to pass to, has some space, decides to take it, goes right towards the hoop. Not able to get this floater to go, but Hakim with the rebound, and she's not able to get it to go. Rebound out to Madden for the 3-point attempt. And boy, how does Shanley not get one to go there as a foul. Looks like it's going to be called on Manuel as Johnson came down with that ball.
That was just one of those fouls where she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. She kind of undercut the Cheyenne player, and I mean, she obviously didn't think she did anything wrong, but it's just one of those things where you kind of, it's a tough call.
Deacons playing a little bit of zone. Huseth with the ball over to Johnson. Johnson down low to Manson, decides not to take it as she thought she was and throws it right into the hands of Manuel. Has an open Huber cutting, but Breidenbach's able to get in front of that Manuel pass. Breidenbach goes right at Hakim, and Hakim smartly does not put her hands up. And an outlet pass to Mattern, who throws it right back to Manson. Couple of turnovers there. That's just back and forth
these
basketball.
players just must be exhausted out here, back and forth and back and forth. It's been a super up-tempo game tonight.
And especially those past couple possessions, not much to show for, but all those before, there was a lot to show for as it's Deacons 47, Cheyenne 34. And again, we would like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So, Joe, we have about a little under 13 minutes remaining in tonight's matchup. What does Shanley need to do to continue their success in the game?
Keep pushing the ball. Shanley's tempo has been unreal tonight, and if they can keep getting those transition buckets, that's what's killing Cheyenne. So if they can keep doing that, I think Shanley will coast to a nice win here tonight. And then Cheyenne on the other part, they need to stop that transition. They need to get back on defense and just start playing some solid defense.
So I believe it'll be Shanley. I might be wrong. I think, it'll be Shanley ball here on the near side coming out of the timeout break.
Nice crowds filling in here for the boys' game
crowds
tonight.
filling in really nicely. Quite a few people on hand, so definitely have a lot of energy in this game, but probably quite a few people will stick around for the boys' game as well. Manuel goes right to the hoop on Sanders and gets the foul called and will be sent to the line for 2 shots.
That was just a good drive there, knowing like Sanders was in a little bit of foul trouble, just driving and seeing what can happen.
So that will be the third personal now on Sanders, as Manuel's first attempt is up and good. Deacons doing just an excellent job from the free throw line tonight, as in previous years for both the Shanley boys and girls have had some troubles from the charity stripe. So definitely good to see if you are a Deacon fan.
One thing to note here too is Hakim has still been in the game with 4 fouls and playing very good defense and not letting that phase her at all.
Yeah, if you would have told me that she would have had 2 fouls, I would have believed you, because she sure is playing like that. A lot of people tend to be more reserved, but she's playing excellent defense on the defensive end for Shanley. Huber throwing the ball in for the Deacons as she gets it into Hodel, who drives right to the right side and does not find a lane, but gets it down to Hakim, who goes to work on Breidenbach and able to get it up and over Breidenbach for 2 points.
It's a nice little shimmy shake move there for the 2. That's always fun to see.
Huseth now with the ball, almost travels, but gets it over to Breidenbach. Back to Huseth. Deacons in their 2-3 zone. Johnson, far corner, back to Breidenbach, who tries to drive middle. Nice pass over to Johnson. Assist from Breidenbach. And just a 14-point deficit now for Cheyenne.
That's just good ball movement. If they keep that up, they'll definitely have a chance to get back in this game.
Hodel to Manuel, over to Huber, back to Hodel. Hodel, nice bounce pass to Hakim, just not able to control it as Breidenbach looks to push the pace for Cheyenne. Goes right to the rim. Not sure if Huber got a little deflection there, but Breidenbach's not able to get that basket to go. Hodel, open 3-point attempt, and not good, but the rebound comes down to Hakim on the far side. Mattern drives right to the left side and not able to get it to go. As again, back and forth we see as Hodel knocks out of bounds, and it'll stay with Cheyenne.
Yeah, one thing to note, Hodel coming off the bench, she's not afraid. She's driving in, she's taking shots, and that's what a player off the bench needs to give to the team. Give them some life, give them some spark. So that's a really good thing for Shanley to have.
That's really good this year, especially in years to come, because she's only a sophomore.
Exactly.
So definitely going to rely on her in a couple of years, that experience she's gained over playing. And Manson not able to get the 3-point to go, but Cheyenne does come down with the rebound. Good iron. Or to Breidenbach in the corner, drives baseline and not able to get that floater to go as the ball goes off of Hakim's hands and will stay with Cheyenne.
Yeah, that's 2 for Hakim there, so her hands might be a little sweaty, the ball's slipping off.
Now throwing the ball in for Cheyenne will be Manson, finds open Sanders, and just short on that open 2-point attempt as she does come down with the rebound. And Hodel says, no thank you, I'll take that, and she pushes the pace with her counterpart, Manuel. Nice defensive play there by Good Iron as she strips it from Hodel. But the ref did say she stepped out of bounds as she corralled that ball.
On that one there, I don't think Hodel saw that Manuel was streaking down right next to her for that little dish off.
And that's an example of where Manuel maybe needs to be a little more vocal, saying, hey,
Exactly.
ball. Maybe get an easy 2-point basket as Hakim almost puts it up underneath the hoop as she is able to. Looks like she wanted to throw that off of Good Iron, but accidentally just throws it right out of bounds. So it will turn over to Cheyenne.
Coach Jacobson there arguing for a foul on Hakim, which could have very well been called, but I think they're letting the post play a little bit now in the second half.
And if you're a fan, you like to see it. Let them play. We don't want a lot of stops and whistles. Let's keep the game moving, letting them play. As Breidenbach has the ball for Cheyenne. Up to Good Iron. Over to Sanders down low. Goes against Hakim, and rebound comes down to Hodel. Hodel just gets it to Hakim as she's falling down, and Huber able to corral the pass from Hakim. Hodel driving middle, as we do have a foul on the floor, as Hodel attempted to pass that over to Dabber in front of the Shanley bench. That would be the first personal on Breidenbach, so nothing to worry about there. 4th team foul on Cheyenne, so starting to add up with a little over 10 minutes left in the game. Hakim to Huber, trying to post up, but not able to do so. Huber drives left side, but before She's able to get the shot attempt off. They are going to call a foul on the floor. So now the 5th foul on Sheyenne. Just a few more, and Shanley will be at the charity stripe.
Yeah, that'll be huge for Shanley if they can get in the bonus to start shooting free throws in that second half.
Manuel to Hodel. Hodel driving right inside, gets a 2-point shot, and she's not afraid to shoot it, which is really good to see if you're a Shanley fan.
Exactly, especially how young she is, getting the experience now.
Yeah. As they are going to say that went off of Breidenbach glass, so the ball will head over to Shanley. As another younger player in Mariah Bird checks in for the Deacons. Not a lot of experience on varsity, but sometimes is asked to play some key minutes for the Deacons. Manuel now with the ball, swings it over to Hodel on the near side. And we do have a clarification on the fouls. So it is going to be Riley Payne. I guess we saw that wrong. So Riley Payne has 4 fouls and not Mo Hakim.
Oh, okay. That would make a lot of sense why Riley's been on the bench.
Now it makes sense that Payne is on the bench. Not sure how we missed that one as it was right in front of us.
Exactly.
Must have just been looking quick and got that one wrong. But it is Payne with 4 fouls, and that is why Hakim is still in the game for the Deacons, as there is a foul called on that last play.
Falls number 24, Ryan Metcalf.
First personal on Metcalf sends Huber to the line for 2. So now the next foul on Sheyenne will already cast the Deacons into the bonus with about 9:30 remaining in the contest. First attempt from Huber is no good as a host of players check into the game.
That's huge. That's huge for Shanley being able to get in the bonus this early, and just if they can keep making their free throws, it'll be a long night for Sheyenne.
Huber's second attempt from the cherry stripe is up, and that one falls through. Goes 1-2 from the line. Mariah Bird steps in to cut off Youssef, as Manson now has the ball in the corner for Sheyenne. Back to Manson, gonna take the open 3-point attempt and not able to get it to go as the ball goes off of Sheyenne and heads to the Deacons.
She just hasn't been feeling it tonight. Normally those shots are going in for her, and you know what? Sometimes it's not always your night, but
it's not fun when it's not your night, but somehow you got to step up and contribute another way.
Hopefully she can fight through it and get something going.
Yeah, and another thing we should maybe mention is that Shanley did have a little bit of a lead in the last game against Sheyenne, but they just weren't able to finish. How big of a role is that to be able to finish the game and cast that victory for your squad?
It's huge. You got to be able to. You have to be able to finish the game. You know, you got to start the game strong, finish the game strong. So that'll be huge.
As Manuel gets the 3-point basket to go, sends the lead to 18 for Shanley. Pull-up jumper for Johnson, just hits the rim and rattles in for Sheyenne. As at the next dead ball, Shrema will check in for Shanley.
That was a big bucket there for Sheyenne, just to get a score and kind of give them some life. So
now to the line for the Deacons will be Hakim, 1-1 already with 8:30 left. Quite a bit of foul trouble for Sheyenne this half, as last half it was for the Deacons. So Feist checking back into the game with those 4 fouls for Sheyenne. We'll have to see how long Coach Hintz leaves her in.
She does have 4 fouls, correct?
I believe she does.
Okay.
We might be wrong on that one too, but I think that one was correct. I guess we'll know next foul. Then they'll let us know if we're wrong or not. Hopefully we're not. I mean, 2 mistakes, not too good. We gotta keep that high level.
We gotta sharpen it up here a little bit.
So Sanders checking in to the game for Sheyenne, and if Hakim is able to convert this shot, Shrema will be checking in for Hakim, or at the next dead ball, whatever comes first. Hakim's second attempt is no good. And the leading rebounder for Sheyenne, making her presence known again in Feist.
It'll definitely be huge to have Feist back in the game, to have someone to throw it down low to in the post.
As the ball is tipped off of Huber, as now dead ball, Shrema will check in for Hakim. Another senior checking in for the Deacons, Hope Wilson's first appearance of the evening. And if you want to learn more about her in the senior spotlight, make sure to tune in for the halftime of the boys game, as Hope Wilson and Olivia Manuel will be coming up here, so we'll be able to get to know them a little bit better, as it looks like Mattern is going to come away with the steal for the Deacons. And Feist making her presence known once again. Definitely a big contributor for Sheyenne, as Youssef goes right down the lane and misses it. go off of Cheyenne over to the Lady Deacons.
That's definitely one she's going to want to have back at the end of the night, that layup there.
Kind of reminds me of the first half or early second half when Manuel missed the attempt on the same side, so we'll have to see if she's able to bounce back and get another basket. Wilson looking for someone to pass to. Finds Huber up top. Huber picks up her dribble, kicks it to Mattern, guarded by Huseth. Drives baseline. She had an open shot, in the middle. Decides not to take it. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Mattern, a little pull-up jumper, and can't get it to go. Rebound coming down to Sanders.
Cheyenne was in a 3-2 zone there, and it looked like it was working for them, so it'll be interesting to see if they stay in it a little longer here in the second half.
As the Deacons on the defensive end are now in a 1-3-1 with Strema in the middle. Huseth over to Manson. Manson down to Johnson. Johnson tries to split Huber and Burden, somehow able to do so, with Manson just not feeling it tonight, which is very unfortunate for her. She is a key role player for Cheyenne off the bench.
Exactly, and all those shots are just right there. They're just not falling tonight.
After the travel by Strema, Good Iron will check back into the game for Cheyenne. So just under 7 minutes remaining from Fargo. Shanley has a 17-point lead in girls basketball. Nice pass down to Feist from Good Iron. And now it's just a 15-point lead for Shanley.
That was a good find there by Good Iron to Feist. Just nice basketball.
So Payne, Manuel, and Hakim will be checking in at the next dead ball for Shanley as they get their last words from their coach. Bird finds a cutting Mattern. He can't get down to go on the right side. And again, rebounding the ball is Feist. Johnson brings the ball up to floor for Cheyenne. Kicks it to Good Iron right in front of her bench. Swings it to Huseth. Down to Sanders, who gets into Feist, who's trying to go to work on Bird. Is able to do so and will be sent to the line for 2 shots after the foul on Bird.
That was a good play there by Feist, knowing she's got a younger player on her, knowing that she's got the experience and that she might be able to make a move and get a foul called on her.
First attempt from Feist is up and rattles in. So those 3 players checking in for Shanley now will be Payne, Manuel, and Hakim.
It'll be interesting to see how Payne plays now that she has 4 fouls and is back in the game. If she'll be a little more hesitant or if she'll come out with the same aggression as earlier in the game.
To complete the pair is Feist, and not able to do so with rebounding coming down to Manuel. Excellent boxing out there by Shanley as the ball could have bounced a couple of times. Mattern gives it to Payne. Payne finds Manuel right in the middle of the floor, who almost throws it into the backcourt, but Mattern able to handle it.
That's one thing Shanley really needs to worry about, is just taking care of the ball, You got the lead. There's another 3 by Manuel.
Go. Extending the lead is Manuel with the 3-point shot. Leads back out to 17 for the Deacons.
I believe she's 3 for 3 for the
3
night,
for
if
3
I'm
or
not
3
wrong.
for 4, something up there. She's shooting well from beyond the arc. Rebound comes down to Payne. Nice pass to Bird. Bird pass to Hakim. Gets a 2-point basket to go. Nice passing from Payne to Bird, and the finish by Hakim.
That was just good basketball there. Knowing that they got the lead and just adding on to that lead, that's exactly what Shanley wants to do in the second half.
And full time out by Coach Hintz and Cheyenne, kind of just wanting to settle his players down a little bit. What do you think he's telling his squad with about 5:30 remaining in the game?
He's telling them it's go time right now. Now or never, ladies. They gotta definitely get some stops together here and get some shots on the offensive end. So they're kind of.
Yeah, and Cheyenne has a couple confidence boosters with their last 3 wins over some pretty solid teams. So seeing if they can try to keep that confidence going into this game. We have another shout out in Mrs. Miller, a teacher at Shanley High School. Thank you, Mrs. Miller, for tuning in, not only in this game, but all the games. We really thank you for your support. So probably a little bit over halfway in this timeout as they get the first horn going. Were you going to say something, Joe?
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how Cheyenne comes out. If they come out in a different defense or what they're looking to do on offense. It'll be interesting to see what their coach told them.
So 19-point lead for the Deacons. I believe it's the largest lead of the game for Shanley. see if they can keep that lead or maybe extend it. And if you're Cheyenne, you definitely want to cut into that as soon as possible with a limited amount of time left. But I'm guessing another thing Coach Hintz was definitely reminding about was that game against Shanley that they previously played, that came down to the wire. So they know they can come back into this game as Feist kicks it over to Johnson. Goes baseline on Hakim and not able to get it to go as Payne comes down with the board.
That was nice rebounding there by the Shanley defense.
Huber sets up the Deacons offense over to Mattern. Looks like Hakim wants to give her a screen, but we're going to have a 30-second timeout called by Coach Jacobson and the Deacons. So you used to play basketball. What was one thing that you kind of looked forward to playing in games? Was it just having people watch you or playing with your teammates?
Yeah, I was one of those guys that liked the crowd. You know, it's always fun to be playing in front of a big crowd. So that was probably. And then there's no better feeling than making a bucket. You know,
you make a bucket, your confidence starts rolling.
Exactly. That's always a good time.
It's fun to play. And speaking of crowds, you're going to be playing at a pretty big crowd next year, hopefully, in NDSU. So that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
As it will be Shanley's ball on the near side here. Exactly 5 minutes left. It'll be Payne throwing the ball in for Shanley, guarded by Johnson. Payne able to throw it into Huber with no contest as Goodiron is now playing some tight defense. Payne guarded by Breidenbach. Mattern tips past there, but Huber's able to crowd. As 5 seconds remain on the shot clock. Need to get a shot as that ball just goes off the fingertips of Hakim.
It looks like Cheyenne was playing a kind of a soft zone there, and every time they had a chance to trap, they were trying to trap that player. So that's definitely something to watch for, putting the pressure on Shanley to take care of the ball.
As Goodiron brings the ball up the floor for Cheyenne, crosses the half-court line and passes it right over to Johnson, who passes it right back to Goodiron. Quick passing by Cheyenne gets Breidenbach down in the corner. Johnson back to Breidenbach. Guarded by Huber. Tipped pass by Mattern, and Mattern able to come away with the steal.
That's one thing about Shanley's defense tonight. They've been tipping all the passes, so that's huge for Shanley to be able to get those turnovers.
Battle of threes there in Breidenbach and Huber as Payne now has it in the far corner for Shanley. Looking for someone to pass to. Finds an open Mattern who decides not to take it. Swings over to Huber for the three-point attempt and not able to get it to go as Payne gets a rebound and another rebound. It looks like that's going to go off the shoes of Payne. So it will be Cheyenne basketball.
That's tough there for Payne, getting those 2 rebounds and not being able to cap it off with a bucket. That always hurts.
Goodiron throws it into Feist right about the free throw line. Going to take that shot and knocks it down.
It's a nice shot there.
Yeah, nice shot there by Feist, just right about the free throw line as Shanley looks to push the pace. Hakim makes a nice move there on Sanders, but not able to get it to go as that ball goes out of bounds off of Hakim. So it will be Cheyenne ball with 3:30 remaining in the girls' matchup.
That was a good hustle play there by Hakim. The ball was rolling out of bounds. She made an effort to dive for it, even though she didn't get it. That's still something coaches like to see.
Yep, those nitty-gritty plays, shall we say, are dirty, getting dirty on the floor. As Feist gets a rebound, goes up, not able to get it to go. As we are going to have a tussle for the ball, and somehow Shanley's able to come away with it as Payne gets fouled by Johnson. So Deacons in that, just a single bonus still, so Payne will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Second personal on Paige Johnson, 8th team foul. So 2 more fouls until Shanley in the double bonus. Payne, first attempt is good. To complete the pair is Payne from the line. Second attempt is up and also good. Youssef on the near side swings it over to Sanders, over to Goodiron in front of her bench, to Youssef, to Goodiron. Going to take that long 3. We've seen a couple of times and finally able to get one to go as the lead is just 16 for Shanley.
That was a huge shot there for Cheyenne, especially since Shanley was in a 2-3 zone there, so it'll be interesting to see if Shanley will come out of the timeout in man-to-man now that Cheyenne has hit a 3. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out and play on defense, because they can play man, they can play that 2-3, 3-2, even that 1-3-1. One of the most versatile teams in the East, and it's really impressive to watch.
Exactly. So it'll be fun to see what they come out in.
So as the timeouts are just about to break here, just under 3 minutes from Fargo, North Dakota, it's Shanley 62 and the Mustangs 46. So 3 minutes remaining in this matchup. It will be Shanley ball underneath Cheyenne hoop, as looks like the Mustangs are going to come out in a 3-2 zone, so we'll have to see how Shanley handles this pressure. Looks like they're going to handle it pretty easily. Oh, Manuel gets it over to Huber, and Huber will set up the Deacons' offenses. Huseth foul. Not sure if they were planning to do it so early or if that was just kind of unintentional.
You could definitely see the experience by Shanley, though, on that press. They stayed calm and they broke it very easily. So that's huge to have all that experience out there on Shanley, or out on the court for Shanley.
Huber's first attempt in the 1-and-1 is perfect. So the rest of the game, Shanley will be in the double bonus. Second attempt, up and also perfect. 2 for 2 from the line is Huber. Huseth into Sanders, puts up the 2-point shot, not able to get it to go as Payne comes down with the rebound. Huber has the ball, pushing it across the half-court line for Shanley, and slows it down and sets up the offense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if Shanley will keep on the gas pedal or if they're going to try to run the clock out.
Yeah, we'll have to see with about 2:20 remaining. They probably can do either. We'll have to see what they decide. It's a nice pass from Mattern to Payne. Gets the basket to go and the foul. And there's your answer. It looks like they're going to stay on that gas
Exactly.
pedal.
That could have been the dagger right there, folks. That was just a great play.
Yeah, great pass on the replay here from Mattern to Payne over the outstretched hands of Goodiron. Able to get that basket to go. And now is trying to convert the three-point play and does so from the line. Now the biggest lead of the game, 21 for Shanley.
That was huge. I don't know if Cheyenne will have the firepower to come back from that.
Yeah, you got to think they needed a stop there if they wanted any chance.
Exactly.
Johnson tips past there, somehow able to get it to Sanders, who takes the long 2 and not able to get it to go with Feist getting the rebound. Goodiron, another long 3, not able to get that to go, as somehow Feist comes down with the rebound, but just shorthands it, but does get the rebound and the foul called, and will be sent to the line for 2 free throws.
Feist is definitely a beast down, though. She definitely makes her presence known.
Third personal on Manuel, 5th team foul on Shanley, as Feist is sent to the line for 2. First attempt is good. To complete the pair from the line is Feist. And it's no good as it's just short. Rebound coming down to Payne. Huseth applying a little bit of pressure on Huber as Huber gets it back from Manuel. Huber and another pass into Hakim, who's able to corral it. Not sure what they're going to call, and it is going to be a timeout, as I believe he was a little worried about a turnover there. It's going to be a full timeout on the floor for Coach Jacobson and Shanley.
It was a very interesting timeout from Coach Jacobson there. I mean, he's got a 20-point lead, so I'm sure he's just probably going over a coaching point or something like that he wants to talk to his team about.
Yeah, you got to think it's something like that, having that 20-point lead. Can't be anything too major just to seal this one and get the tally in the victory column. And folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/Shanley TV, or follow us on Twitter at Shanley TV. Are you a Twitter follower of Shanley TV, Joe?
I am.
Me too.
I like to keep up if I'm not calling doing the color on a game. I like to keep up and see what's going on.
Folks, make sure you follow us on Twitter or Facebook so you can keep in contact with us, as well as follow the games and get the latest highlights and updates of the games that we broadcast on Shanley TV. So each team has one timeout left with 1:30 remaining. You got to think that if anyone's going to use it, it's going to be Cheyenne, unless Shanley is going to be in trouble with maybe a 10-second violation or something like that, they might use that to avoid that.
Yes. As I look over here to my left, I see Cooper Matterns following Shanley TV on Twitter right now.
I believe Cooper Mattern is too. That's excellent, folks.
That's good
it's
stuff.
really saying that you guys should follow us on Twitter too. So, folks, make sure you follow us on Twitter if you did not get anything from that segment there, as Shanley's Riley Payne will throw the ball in for the Deacons. Huber with the ball, guarded by Huseth. Gets the screen from Mattern and Hakim, as Sheyenne is not going to let anything go easy, as we will have a jump ball called on that play. And boy, both teams are not going to go home easy tonight.
Yeah, I really like how Sheyenne hasn't given up. I mean, granted they're down by 20 points, but they still have the fight, and that's what a coach likes to see in a team. They're still trying to win the game.
Hakim's attempt does not go in, as I'm not really sure what there's called on the floor. And there's going to be a foul called on Shanley, as I believe it'll be double bonus unless it was called on defensive end, I suppose. So it will not be shots for Sheyenne. So both teams in the bonus now, as Feist kicks it over to Breidenbach, but first deflected out of bounds by Payne. Sheyenne in front of their own bench. Good iron, swings over to Huseth. Over to Johnson in the corner, guarded by Hakim. And she throws it right out of bounds, and Payne's going to take that for herself. Go up for the right-handed layup and get it to go. And that about does it here, as a 22-point difference for Shanley and Sheyenne. And another turnover by Sheyenne, as Matterns looks like she's going to try to corral it, as we have a jump ball called, which will stay with Sheyenne. You know, again, going back, Cheyenne's not giving up. They might not be able to come back in today's game, but that's going to help them later on in the road, and they're in another game when it's a little bit closer. They're going to have to rely on some of this experience in tonight's game. Payne comes away with the ball. About 40 seconds remaining in tonight's game. Payne over to Huber. Huber wasting some time. Gets Johnson in the air and goes right past her and hands it off to Payne, who drives right in the middle, gets a foul called, and will be sent to the line for 2 shots. And if you're the boys team, Sheyenne or Shannon, you're like, come on, don't blow any more whistles, because you just want to get out and play, don't you?
Oh, yeah. They're itching to get on the court and start warming up for the matchup tonight. So.
What they'll have to wait is a host of Deacons will check in, a whole line sub, and a few players now coming to the scores table for Sheyenne, as the first attempt goes about as high as it can without hitting the antenna and falls in for Payne. Faithfuls for both squads cheering on their players, as the reserves now check in for the final 30 seconds. Second attempt from Payne, up, and that one is also good. 2 for 2 from the line, as Holo takes out Riley Payne. Sheyenne looking to get maybe one more good shot attempt before time expires, as Deacons are going to stay with that 3-2 zone.
That's really been working well for them tonight.
Yeah, not only that 3-2 zone, but all of their defenses have been tough matchup for Sheyenne, having them respond on the offensive side.
I'd definitely say in the state, they're one of the most versatile teams on the defensive end of the floor.
Nice basket by Lexi Terhardt down low, as time does hit triple zeros on the game clock. And Joe, we have a very good contest in the Deacons winning 71-49. What are your takeaways for both teams, or what do both teams need to kind of work on, or something like that going into the next game?
Shanley definitely needs to work on their defense or rebounding. They gave up a lot of second chance opportunities. And then Sheyenne just needs to work on getting out in transition and then getting back on the defensive end. If they can get back and play good, solid defense, they'll be fine the rest of the season. But those are just two things that both teams need to work on, and they'll have a successful season the rest of the way.
Definitely think they might be playing again later, maybe postseason, EDC, or maybe even state, depending on how far both teams go. Well, folks, girls Shanley Deacons win at 71-49, but don't go anywhere. For in about 20 minutes, the boys matchup of Sheyenne and Shanley will be taking place, as well as the girls senior spotlight in Hope Wilson and Olivia Emanuel. So make sure to stay tuned.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Alrighty, folks, and welcome back to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for now the boys matchup of Cheyenne and Shanley. And now my new partner, Andy Simon, will be joining me for this game. And Andy, both two really good teams in Shanley and Cheyenne. But before we break that down, we're actually going to send it to a brief message from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
And we welcome you back once again for boys basketball on Shanley TV. Again, I'm Brandon Altringer alongside my new partner, Andy Simon for Cheyenne versus Shanley. And Andy, two really talented teams in the Deacons and the Mustangs. Cheyenne coming in at 12-1 in EDC, followed by Shanley at 5-6, a little bit lower at the middle of the pack. So two teams that can play some very good basketball. And last matchup between them, they were tied at halftime. But in the second half, Cheyenne had that upper half and kind of pulled away and took that W. And so now we're kind of focusing on the teams. How about your individual players to watch for tonight's matchup?
Well, for West Fargo Cheyenne, as you said, they are a very talented team. They have they have a lot of athletes who are able to, make plays whenever they need. But for the number one player to watch, I definitely say Tyler Terhardt. He was the player who, when I announced football in the fall, he was a name that always popped up. And he leads the doesn't lead the EDC, but he's up in the stats for EDC in both points and assists, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came out here and made some noise.
Yeah, and not only was he your player to watch, but Joe and I were kind of talking about this game before, and he picked Tyler too, so definitely a player to watch, folks, in tonight's contest. Now for your Shanley player to watch.
He's been my player to watch the last couple of games. Braden DeKaiser. I always talk about energy. I always preach it, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of that energy that he's had the last couple of games would carry over to this one and keep that streak going for my player to watch.
And it seems like whenever you pick him for your player to watch, he always produces to a high level. Last time, I think, putting close up to 20 points when he was your player to watch. So definitely tune in. Really good players to watch here, but both teams, again, have very talented players. So if anyone else sticks out, we're not going to be surprised at all. And so now as they are announcing both lineups for the Deacons and the Mustangs, we will get those lineups to you. Cheyenne will start with Terhardt, Detman, Berg, Moni, and Du Bois. On the other hand, matching up against Shanley will be DeKaiser, Hoffer, Smith, Shrema, and Bath. So now we have those lineups just a few minutes away from the opening tip. And Andy, are you just looking forward and getting ready to go, or do you got any final words to say to the folks at home?
I'm looking forward to this game. We got two very athletic teams, as you said. I think we're going to have a good competition as long as Shanley can keep up that energy that I always talk about.
And before we get going, we do have another shout out to one of the faithful of Cheyenne, Sam Du Bois, who is recovering after surgery. Sam Du Bois, we wish you the best of luck in your recovery, and thanks for tuning in to Shanley TV. And so, as the last players are getting announced, teams getting in their huddles, and then the coaches will say their final words before we get tipped from Fargo, North Dakota. And Andy, last time we were talking about Zion, maybe 2 times ago, how he was getting ready to play, and he's been performing to a high level. Did you expect him to, jump out of the gym and get some crazy dunks in the first couple games from him?
I wasn't too surprised. He played great in the past, and it's tough to see him not able to play for the first couple games. But he came out, he made a lot of noise, he played well.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He could just jump out of this gym, get some crazy dunks, and it's something to see for sure. As teams are wishing their good lucks to the opponents. And then we will tip it. And it is going to be Bath against Berg. A little surprising the taller Moni is not jumping for Cheyenne, but we'll see if it pays off for Cheyenne. Not sure what the holdup is here as we are ready to go, and so are the refs. And here we go. We'll have the opening tip from Fargo, North Dakota on a frigid Tuesday evening. So it'll be Sheyenne winning the tip as Detman controls the ball. Berg now in front of Shanley bench, and they're trying to create some energy right away as Turhark, your player to watch, gets his name out there right away in the scoring column as 2 points early go to Sheyenne. Hoffer guarded by Berg. Nice move there. Has Berg on his heels, kicks it to Bath. Gonna drive and kick it to DeKaiser. Looks like it's gonna be a long 2-foot horizontal line. And again, your players to watch, and boy, Andy, you have nailed your players to watch every game this year. Go ahead.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if some players came up to me before the games and asked me to have them be my player to watch, because, I mean,
yeah,
I'm just straight cash, homie.
Next game, someone's going to be like, hey, can I be your player to watch? Maybe give them a little confidence. But as Dubois go to work on Bath, and Bath is able to get the rebound for Shanley. Hoffer, three-point attempt, and gets it to go as he is continuing his hot streak in Shanley's last game against the other West Fargo school, the West Fargo Packers. And you know, another thing I noticed about your player to watch, Brandon DeKaiser, after his past couple games, he's actually boosted himself back into the starting lineup. So definitely taking some notice of Coach Paper and the Deacons.
Yeah, it's kind of good to see. As I always say, he needs a little bit of something to get rolling. But yeah, when he gets rolling, he's unreal, and it's really paid off, as you just said, that he's gotten back into the starting lineup for the Deacons.
DeKaiser, drive his middle, puts up the 2-point floater, and right on cue is DeKaiser with the 2-point floater. Deacons bench and Faithful trying to give them a little energy, maybe get a stop and go on another scoring run against this tough Cheyenne team as Bath gets the board. And Dedman wanted a foul call. I didn't see much. Did you see anything?
No, that looked like a clean play to me.
I think that was really good defense by Bath and the Deacons. Hoffer over to Smith, going to take that 3-point attempt, and he felt it all along. And boy, is Shanley feeling it. This is just fun to call, is it not, Andy?
You love to see games like this where both teams are just coming out with a lot of energy.
Now we'll see
like I talk about it all the time.
I think that's your favorite word on broadcasting is energy, energy, energy. Well, boy, do we have energy tonight so far as Blake Berg's going to take the long three and hit one of his own. Deficit just 5 now for Sheyenne. Smith in charge of the Deacons offense, guarded by Detman. Smith hands it off to Hoffer after the high ball screen, Hoffer met by the taller Moan. He's going to take a deep three, just going to be long as the rebound comes down to Detman. Detman to Dubois. And one thing we should mention is every player on Cheyenne can shoot that 3-ball and will shoot that 3-ball as Chuck Dubois hits the 3-pointer. How impressive is that every player on Cheyenne is not afraid to pull that 3-ball with confidence too?
It's not just impressive, it's greatly important, especially if you're going up against a team like Shanley, who's, once they get the energy rolling, they can really play and they can put up the 3-ball themselves. So to be able to compete with that with almost everyone on your lineup being able to do that, that's a huge part of the game.
Energy kind of transferring from Shanley over to Cheyenne as it's just 2-point lead now for Shanley. And good block there by DeKaiser on Chuck Dubois, and that'll get the crowd energetic as well as myself. Smith, nice pass to Bath, goes up for the bank shot and gets it to go. And Andy, this is what a broadcaster's dream is. Back and forth game, a lot of energy. Two high caliber teams. We couldn't ask for much more, could we?
Oh, not at all.
Turhark with the ball in front of the Deacons bench, drives middle, puts up the floater, and rebound comes down to Hoffer and the Deacons. Nice pass to Shrema, just able to corral it for the 2-point basket. And boy, what a pretty play there from Hoffer to Shrema as Deacons extend their lead back out to 6.
That was excellent focus there by Roman Shrema. As you could see, he kind of bobbled the ball a little bit, but he was able to wrangle it just in time and get it up for the easy layup.
Detman guarded by Smith, battle of the twos. Who's going to win it? And it looks like Detman is going to win it as he will be sent to the line for 2 free throws. That is going to be the first personal on Smith as well as the first of the game. First attempt from Smith is good. Kenny also checking in for the Deacons as well as Peño and Leak. Second attempt from Detman is perfect as well. Just a 4-point lead now for Shanley from Fargo, North Dakota. Hoffer sets up the Deacon offense, gets a screen from Strema. Didn't realize how much space he had until it was too late, but the foul was called on the newly checked in 13, excuse me, Penyu. So it'll be Smith now with the ball. Gets a screen from Strema. Hoffer with the ball in front of Coach Kirchhoffner and Sheyenne. Over to Smith, who previously went to Sheyenne before transferring over to Shanley. So this game definitely means a little bit for him, as well as Strema as he gets a 2-point basket to go. And you know, how much more do you think that adds on Smith's plate after coming over from Sheyenne? You definitely think he wants this game a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. There's always a little bit of friendly competition that is amped up a little bit more when you're playing your former school. And yeah, I think, and he's been playing pretty well so far. I think it's really contributing to how he's playing.
Attempt is no good from Penyu, and rebound down to Detman. And instead of the block shot like Shanley fans thought they had, it would be foul called. I believe that'll be on Strema. It'll actually be called on 14. Emmett Kenny, first personal, second team foul, sends Zion Detman to the line for 2. Next dead ball, which is right now, is Lyer checking in for Smith. And at the next dead ball after this will be Blake Berg for Zion Detman. Detman is perfect from the line tonight. 4-point deficit for Sheyenne in those pretty orange jerseys. What do you think of those orange jerseys? Those are, I really love them, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm not a giant fan of one solid color, but I mean, that looks pretty good, and with that little white on it, makes it look really nice.
Yeah, and some fans remember that they actually debuted those jerseys a couple years ago at Shanley, so got to think that has something to do with it, as Penyu is able to get the basket to go. Just a 2-point lead for the Deacons. About 12:20 remaining in the first half. Kenny picks up his dribble, finds Hoffer as Sheyenne transitions to a 1-3-1 zone. Hoffer looking for someone to pass to, back to Kenny, into Bath. Kind of trapped there as he throws it right off of his teammate's shoes in Strema. They're going to call a reach-in foul on number 3 in white, Jackson Lyer. First personal, third team foul. Terhark, guarded by Kenny, drives baseline, gets swatted by Strema right in his face. Deacons come away with the ball. Lyer's gonna take that open 3 and hit. Lyer gets a 3 of his own, and the lead is back out to 5 for Shanley. Penyu makes a nice move on Lyer, finds an open Moni, puts up a 2-point basket, not able to get it to go as Strema collects another rebound for Shanley. We do have an official's timeout. Not sure if this shot clock started. Looks like we're gonna get that checked out and we'll get back underway. So it looks like, I'm not sure exactly what that was, as the shot clock is still at 30 as Mears checks into the game for Shanley, as well as Dubois checks back into the game for Moni. So they still are over at the scores table trying to figure out the issue, see if they can figure that out pretty quickly, and it looks like they're gonna take 2 seconds off of the shot clock. Lyer now with the ball. Over to Kenny in the corner in front of the Sheyenne bench. Lyer looks for Strema, doesn't find him. Mears over to Kenny, drives baseline. Nice pass to Strema, but not able to get the basket to go with Strema, but it will go off of Sheyenne and stay with Shanley.
Yeah, it's a nice little break there for Shanley to get the ball back, as you could kind of see you could see the energy ramping up a little bit as Emmett Kenny, he was kind of moving all around the court, making passes, and giving that attempt to Strema that unfortunately didn't go in, but it's good for them to get the ball right back.
Yep, nice play here for Shanley as Kenny now has it Over to Lyer. Sets up the Deacon offense as Cheyenne goes back to their one-on-one defense, that man defense. Hoffer with Berg on him. Over to Kenny. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Handoff to Hoffer. Open Kenny with three-point attempt in the corner, and just long as it barely grazes the rim. And Cheyenne comes away with it. Berg sets the offense up for Cheyenne. Hoffer guards Berg as he gets a set of screens. Turhark now driving middle, guarded by Kenny. Over to Berg, who's going to take that three-point attempt and not able to get it to go as Shrema deflects that one. But then they will get Lyer with another foul, as it looks like he just had a little too much wrist and not enough ball, which will result in him going. Actually, they're going to keep him in with those 2 fouls as Hoffer comes out for DeKaiser and Detman back in for Cheyenne. Leak in the corner, hands it off to Penu. Detman with the ball, guarded by Lyer with those 2 fouls. Down to Chuck Dubois, out to Detman, who drives right middle. Nice pass to Leak, goes up for the layup and finishes. Deficit just 3 for Cheyenne. Lyer over to Mears. Mears finds Shrema at about the free throw line, kicks it to Kenny, who hands it right back to Mears, guarded by Chuck Dubois. A little bit of a mismatch, but gets it over to Kenny. DeKaiser trapped there. Lyer tries to drive baseline, but it's going to be a turnover as Roman Shrema was just inside the lane, just a little too long. So 3-second violation on Shrema. And Andy, what is Shanley doing so well that they got out to that 6-point lead? Now it's only 3, but what did they do so well to start this game?
I think what they did was they utilized their tall men very well. Patrick Bath and Roman Shrema. I mean, they were making play after play on both offense and defense as they were making shots down low, and they had a lot of blocks on the tall Cheyenne offenders. And, I mean, that's what I think was really the driving factor for all this energy and this lead that they jumped out to.
Yeah, very impressive duo of big men for Shanley as the Cheyenne faithful is not agreeing with that call. And it looked like DeKaiser maybe tripped on a player's shoe or just himself, but it will be a foul on Cheyenne. On 3, Blake Berg, first personal, second team foul as a host of players check into the game. Hoffer throwing the ball in for Shanley underneath their own hoop. Quick bounce pass to Bath, who goes up for the dunk and throws it down. And now that's a dunk, right? Because I know last time we were questioning if one of his was dunk, but that for sure was a dunk, correct?
Yeah, his hands did. Both of them did get on the rim as the ball was going in, so I would declare that an official dunk.
Moni now with the ball, kicks it over to Detman. Nice pass to Dubois. Looks like he's going to get the foul called, but not able to get the basket to go. So will be sent to the line for 2.
Yeah, kind of going back to that dunk, I'm kind of surprised Shanley was the first team to dunk it in this game, as in warm-ups when we were watching Cheyenne, I mean, it looked like their entire roster was able to dunk it.
Yeah, you just go through this lineup, 6'5", 6'5", 6'3", 6'9", 6'8", 6'11". I mean, I'm surprised. We're definitely going to see a dunk from them. It's just who knows how long it'll take.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon, because dunks are fun to watch, fun to call, and if we got a game full of dunks, that's going to be something special. Just a 2-point lead now for Shanley with about 9 minutes remaining from Shanley High. Smith over to Hoffer. Hoffer getting the screen from Bath, decides to drive baseline. Little reverse. Boy, was that saucy, Andy.
Hoffer even looked a little surprised himself after that. He kind of gave a glance at.
He had a wide open left-handed layup, but decided to be fancy and put it in on the right-hand side as Blake Berg gets an open layup. So looks like he might have wanted a foul call, but it's going to be 2 points for Cheyenne. Hoffer over to Mears. Cheyenne still playing their man defense. Mears tries to drive baseline. Looks like he's going to kick it right off of his shoe. It's going to head over to Cheyenne as Kenny is going to check back in for the Deacons. Take out Mears.
And on defense, Cheyenne, they've done a great job of kind of pushing Shanley towards out of bounds and kind of getting them in a bad position with the ball. And that's not the first time tonight we've seen them accidentally kick out of bounds or just kind of get out of bounds on their own.
Turk, nice bounce pass to Berg. Looks like that's going to be their go-to play. Berg gets a foul called. Will be sent to the line for 2. after he's not able to convert the shot. Second personal on Emmett Kenny as the team fouls are starting to rack up for Shanley, as the next foul will result in Cheyenne being in the 1-and-1 bonus. First attempt from Berg is good. Second attempt from Berg is no good, but the rebound comes down to Moni. And Berg is going to go right back to the free throw line to try to convert the three-point play. What else can you ask for if you're Blake Berg on that possession? Get one and have a chance to come away with 4 points after that. Very impressive from Blake Berg as Bath is sent to the bench for Shrema. Berg to complete the three-point play. No good, with the rebound coming down to Hoffer, who that last foul was on. First personal and 7th team foul. Kenny over to Smith, drives inside, kicks it out to DeKaiser, gonna follow Smith right down the lane and gets stopped by Blake Berg. Steal there by Terhark, has Berg with him. Berg's gonna go up and get the foul called, and will be sent to the line. What is Blake Berg doing so well that he's able to go to the line or even have a chance to make those shots?
He's just going up super aggressive and kind of forcing the Deacons to make kind of a harder play on defense, trying to stop the basket, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot they can do besides maybe throw a foul in there. And
he does that so well, averaging about 16 a game. Quite a few come from the free throw line or those easy layups, as he is able to convert the first one. That last foul was on 24 of the Deacons, Shrema. Rebound comes down to Shrema as Berg can't get the second one to go. So 2-point lead now for Cheyenne with just under 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Hoffer, 2-point pull up and gets it to go. Ties the game back at 25. Battle of the twos again. Terhark now guarded by Kenny. Gets a screen from Moni. Going to take that open three-point attempt and just short, as it looks like it went off of Moni's hands last and will go over to Shanley. You know, one thing I think that we can bring up is injuries for both teams, with Nate Goldaddy tearing his ACL earlier in the year, and a huge football player for Cheyenne, as well as Logan Wood is out, but also for Shanley. Jackson Lyer and Owen Mears going through a little bit of injuries, as well as Kraft, Dietz, and Colson Brasher out. How big are injuries, and how important is it for younger players to step up when they need to?
It's huge, the injuries on both teams. I mean, as you said, there were some key players on Cheyenne who are great athletes. And, I mean, Cheyenne, they already have a very athletic lineup. But, I mean, just to add to that, it would be great to have those players back. And, yeah, for Shanley, they have a lot of injured players as well. I mean, Jackson Lyer and Owen Mears, two players who are very important on the Shanley's defense. And, yeah, it's hard to see them not play. And it's also important for the younger players to step up to kind of fill in the gap, especially with how big some of these players were in the lineup.
Absolutely. As Cheyenne has gotten out to a 2-point lead, we would like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So as both teams break out their timeout huddles, you might be able to hear that announcement. They're doing a little fundraiser for I believe it's Grantley Johnson, from Cheyenne. He's been struggling some sickness, so they're doing a nice fundraiser at Shanley for his family. Excellent parts on both parts there. Excellent work. Smith brings the ball across half court for Shanley. Kenny looking for someone, finds Shrema. Over to Smith. Smith looking for the mismatch down low, but Berg doing excellent on that second-hand defense. Smith puts up a three and gets it to go. Gives the lead back to the Deacons by 1 point. Berg over to Moni in front of Shanley bench, Terhark now with it, guarded by Kenny. attacking Kenny. Goes right to the rack, but not able to get it to go as the rebound does come to Sheyenne. Nice pump fake by Terhark and gets it going as he is your player to watch again. Andy, what is he doing so well so far? Getting some easy baskets down low.
I mean, he's just driving hard to the lane. That's really all you need to go up for a nice layup. He's got some size on him, so it's easy for him to drive down hard, go up hard, and get the nice layup.
A nice steal by Turek out to Du Bois. Almost blocked by Hoffer, but rattles in for Sheyenne. Extends the lead to 3 points. Next at ball, looks like we're going to have Leak and Penu for Sheyenne, and then Bath checking in for Shanley. Smith takes another three, just short, but he is able to get his own rebound. Kenny over to Hoffer. Hoffer looks like he wanted it, but decided not to pull it as the Kaiser works on Berg. Looks like it's going to go off of Berg's hand and stay with Shanley. Kenny will be throwing the ball in for the Deacons underneath their own hoop with just over 5 minutes remaining in tonight's first half. Smith gets a screen from Shrema. Not too much of a mismatch down there for Shrema as Turek's a big boy down there. But Turek's able to do it all as he forces a turnover there. And boy, is he having a heck of a night so far on the offensive and defensive ends. Berg in front of the Shanley bench, down to Leak, out to Moni. Nice cut and pass there, but it's going to go off of Penu's hand, and it'll be ball to Shanley.
One thing I kind of noticed with my player to watch, being that I was paying close attention to him, Braden DeKaiser kind of appeared that he may have like sprained his ankle or just kind of tweaked it or something. As he looked like he was hobbling a little bit, but props to him. He played through it. He was very gritty, and you could see him kind of going up for that layup on the offensive side, but props to him for playing through that. Yeah,
it looks like he's adjusted his ankle brace over there, so we'll have to see if that affects him at all as his game continues to go, as Penu gets a basket to go down low. Extends the lead out to 5 for Sheyenne, their largest lead tonight. Smith to Hoffer, gets the screen from Shrema. What are they going to call here? It looks like they're going to call an offensive foul on Shrema. Just wasn't quite set. And so it will be foul on Shrema. Checking into the game will be Liar. You know, what did you see on that last foul? Did you think that was the right call going offensive, or did you think Shrema was set and was a legal screen?
I think that was a bit of a tough call because it kind of looked like the Cheyenne defender got a little tangled up and may have gotten tripped up. I didn't quite see the full thing, so it could have been a good call, but I'm not quite positive on that one as I did not see the full thing.
Yeah, I thought it was just a solid screen. Yeah, Penu ran into him hard, but that's going to happen if you have such a good screen. Leak going down to work on Shrema. Kicks it out to Moni for the three. Misses everything, but Penu is able to get the rebound and the foul. Will be sent to the line for 2. Foul will be on Liar, his third already, so that's going to bring Smith right back to the scores table. First attempt at the line. Up and rattles in. Second attempt from Penu. Is good. Goes 2 for 2 from the line. So 7-point lead now for Sheyenne. As Shanley was once up by 7, now it's Sheyenne up by 7 with just about 3:30 until halftime. Nice spin move by Hoffer. Quick pass, but gets it taken away by Sheyenne. Block shot there by Kenny as he rejects it, and now Hoffer is pushing the Deacons as he's going to pull up and take the 3. Not able to get it to go, as the rebounds comes down to Sheyenne. Tough foul call there on Shanley, as it looked like Sheyenne kind of lowered their shoulder and went at the hoop, but it will be foul on Emmett Kenny, his third personal. So now 2 guys for Shanley with 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's tough to see going towards the end of this first half. And I mean, those extra free throws that Cheyenne's gotten, that's been huge in giving them this lead, as they're in the double bonus right now, and they've been fairly proficient with them, as we just see another mate right there. I mean, that could be huge. And Shanley, we've seen them get in a lot of foul trouble in these games prior to this one, and I mean, that could be a big factor in the second half if they do get Sheyenne back in the bonus.
And now we see something pretty cool for Deacons. Bennett Bird checking in the game. I believe that's going to be his first varsity appearance, as I believe just last week he got moved up to the JV varsity roster. So pretty impressive for him. Hoffer gives it over to Bird. Bird gets a screen from Bath. It looks like that's going to go off of Moni as he hit that out of bounds out of Bird's hands. And do you think he has a little pressure on his shoulders? Do you think he's going to play cool, calm, and collected? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, if I was in his shoes, I'd definitely feel a lot of pressure. But, I mean, as of right now, he doesn't seem too panicked. He seems pretty calm, pretty collected. And, I mean,
yeah,
you can only hope that he remains like that for the rest of the game and is able to make plays.
Absolutely. He gets back on defense as Moni drives baseline. Nice pass to Berg. And, again, he's there to finish at the rim. Now an 11-point lead for Sheyenne. Smith gets a screen from Shrema, kicks it over to Bird, who finds Bath. Puts up a 2-point contested floater, and that's going to come down to Penu. Tipped pass there by Smith, but not able to keep it in. So it'll be Cheyenne ball in front of Shanley's bench. I believe there was a timeout called by Coach Kirchhoffner and Cheyenne. It's going to be a timeout on the floor, 30-second timeout. And Andy, what was Cheyenne able to do so well to fight that lead that Shanley had and now push their lead out to 11 points?
Definitely draw fouls. I mean, they've already drawn 10 fouls from Shanley. I mean, and they've done a great job on the free throw line. I think drawing the fouls and going up hard for the layups, that's really what's given them this lead, as they kind of started out a little slow, a little flat, but then they kind of started to regain their energy and rebuild their confidence. And, I mean, now back to an 11 lead. I think their biggest of the night. I mean, I think those fouls, they've been a big part in getting that lead.
Yeah, I mean, last game, Shanley just couldn't battle back against when Cheyenne kind of pushed their lead out. They just couldn't battle back in that second half, so we'll have to see if they're able to do so in tonight's second half. Nice pass down to Leak, goes up for the layup, and the foul will be sent to the line to convert the three-point play. So if he does convert this, it will be a 14-point lead for Cheyenne with just about 2 minutes remaining. And you know, another thing, we just can't stress it enough that foul trouble is bad. And that's a third personal on Shrema. And now that's 3 players for Shanley with 3 fouls. I just don't know what else to say. There's not much to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard for Shanley when, as we said a couple times before, Cheyenne, they're a very athletic team who's able to kind of put you in a position that may cause you to foul, and it's hard to defend them sometimes, so all I can really think to do is foul at some times. So, I mean, it's just tough for Shanley to defend this great offensive team.
Hoffer will be throwing the ball in for Shanley after that foul on Cheyenne. How impressive is it that Cheyenne only has 3 team fouls compared to the 10 team fouls of Shanley?
It's extremely impressive. I mean, both these offenses tonight, they've done a great job of, being aggressive, putting up shots, making good passes, and to see the foul differential between the two teams, it's kind of shocking.
And that just shows the attention to detail that Cheyenne has and their fundamentals of basketball. It's really good to see, especially if you're the coach. I mean, you can't ask for much more in that category. So Shanley finally able to get back on the scoreboard. Now just a 12-point deficit for the Deacons. Blake Berg going to take the open 3 and misses it as the rebound comes down to Penu. Somehow that came out of Hoffer's hands and right into the hands of Cheyenne. Next dead ball, Chuck DuBois will be checking in for Cheyenne. Detman drives, kicks it over to Leak, goes up for the dunk, but just lays it in. Now that's not a dunk, as it was kind of tipped by Bath. So it'll be Hoffer bringing the ball forward for Shanley. Crosses the half-court line and gets a screen from Bath. Takes a 2-point step back, and the rebound comes down to Mears. Smith looking for someone to pass to, gives it to Bath. Bath going to work on Leak. Tough 2-point shot and cannot get it to go. Berg now with the ball. In front of Coach Tony Paper of Shanley. Kicks over to Turhark in front of the Shanley student section. Over to Leak. Gonna take the three. And again, that just reiterates how flexible their team is in that almost all of them, 1 through however many players they have, can shoot that 3-point ball.
Yeah, Cheyenne, they have great talent on their offensive front, and it's very evident here as they are at a 17-point lead against the Deacons right now, as they were once down 5 points.
And folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts, like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, or follow us on Twitter at Shanley TV. And Andy, I asked Joe this question earlier. Do you follow Shanley TV on the Twitter?
I believe I do follow Shanley TV on Twitter.
Would you consider or recommend everyone else to follow Shanley TV?
I would 10 out of 10 recommend following Shanley TV
You get highlights,
on Twitter.
updates, and you can even listen to us. It's pretty fun, isn't it?
It's definitely a great page on Twitter if you're ever on it.
Hoffer, 2 seconds left. Gets it and not able to get it to go, as it will be a 17-point lead for Cheyenne going into half. What did Cheyenne do so well to extend their lead out to 17 going into half?
As I said before, draw fouls. I mean, they were aggressive on offense. They forced Shanley to foul, and they were able to make their free throws. And not just that, I mean, besides the fouls, they were doing excellent on offense. They were opening up opportunities, hitting shots. That's really all you need.
Absolutely. And so, Andy, we're going to flip your mic over to Olivia Manuel and Hope Wilson of the girls basketball team for their senior spotlight, as we did interview Jackson Lyer and Talon Hoffer of the boys team. So make sure that if you did not catch that, go back and look at that. That was at halftime of the girls game. And so now it looks like we're going to interview Olivia Manuel first. First of all, thank both of you for joining us. So we're going to start off with some easier questions and then get to some more basketball related questions. So first question, Olivia, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like anything healthy. I love Herbalife shakes.
Okay, you're kind of one of those health nuts, okay?
Yes, that's me.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. A lot of blues.
Blue.
Second blue, I think, this evening. Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix.
Netflix, that's
yes.
me too. Do you have Disney Plus? I don't have.
I do.
Okay.
I have it, just not as much.
Gotcha.
I don't use it as much.
Do you like staying in or hanging with friends?
It depends on the night. Like after a game, if I'm really tired, I like to just be by myself.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
It's fun to go out.
Nike or Under Armour?
Nike.
Third Nike of the evening. Not a
Nike.
surprise at that.
Yes.
That's my favorite too. Summer or winter?
Summer. Love
Lakes?
the lakes.
Lakes, yep.
There you go.
Are you a truth or dare kind of person?
Dare.
Nah, I don't have a dare. Shoot. What's your favorite pregame snack or ritual?
I have a shake. That's what
Have
I
a shake?
do. And a tea.
Makes sense. That's fair
Yep,
enough.
Get some energy.
Yep. When did you start playing the game of basketball?
Probably goes back to like 5th grade.
5th grade?
Yep.
Okay. I think I started playing in 4th grade before I was done.
Some eyeball.
Yeah. What is your favorite basketball memory or moment from Shanley?
Actually I love like all the games. Like they're all individually important to me, but I love Denver. We went on a trip last summer and it was really fun.
That would be a lot of fun. What will you miss most about playing with Shanley? Will it be hanging out with your teammates?
Yeah, just being with the team and just the chemistry that we have, and on and off the court, it's always a good time.
Yeah, for sure. What advice would you give to those underclassmen that still have a couple of years left in the Shanley program?
Just to like enjoy every moment. Like every moment has a meaning, whether you're on the bench or on the court. Like just take it all in.
Absolutely. And final question, plans for next year?
I am going to UND for
That'll
physical
be
therapy.
A lot of fun there. And I'm guessing you're going to join a couple people that are coming
Yes.
from Shanley. And now we'll give the mic over to Hope Wilson. Thank you, Olivia. As Hope Wilson joins us here for our second senior spotlight. And Hope, thanks for joining us. So we'll start off with some pretty easy questions. What's your favorite food?
Probably pasta. Any type of pasta.
Pasta's really good. I love pasta. Favorite color?
Blue.
What a surprise. Third blue of the night. Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix.
Netflix, okay. I respect that. Staying in or do you like hanging with friends more?
Definitely hanging with friends more.
Okay. I like that. Nike or Under Armour?
Ooh. Nike for shoes. Otherwise, either's okay.
Okay. That's kind of the first Under Armour we've had. Everyone else has said Nike. So
yeah.
Summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Summer. Not a surprise there. All right. Truth or dare?
Oh, do you even have a dare?
I don't have a dare, unfortunately. So
Truth.
Truth. Shoot. What is your pregame snack or ritual that you do?
I always go to Jimmy John's and then either get a tea or a body armor.
Oh, that sounds really good. Alrighty. When did you start playing the game of basketball?
Probably kindergarten.
Kindergarten, really young. I think that was maybe Talon too, started really young.
Yeah.
What's your favorite basketball memory or like moment from playing with Shanley?
When Riley hit the 3 at Cheyenne.
At Cheyenne, yeah. Actually, last time we talked about that a little bit in the girls' game. So if you want to go back, I'm pretty sure they have that on film somewhere on the Informer, Valley News Live, or something like that. What will you miss most about playing for Shanley?
Definitely the team and the environment and just how we all get along so well.
Yeah, really good teammates there. What advice would you give to those underclassmen that still have a couple years left playing for Shanley?
Just to work hard at every practice and like enjoy like the team meals and the small stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna go really quick. As
It
we're already
does go very
seniors
quick. Yeah.
pretty soon. That gets me to my next question. What are your plans for next year?
I'm also going to UND.
You're also going to UND
yes.
with Olivia. Very exciting, folks, and that is our senior spotlight with Hope Wilson and Olivia Manuel, folks. So about 5:30 until second half. So make sure you stay tuned. Go grab a snack and then come right back for the second half of boys basketball on Shanley TV. And folks, we want to welcome you back to Shanley TV for boys Eastern Dakota Conference basketball. It is Sheyenne taking on Shanley, with Sheyenne taking a 17-point lead into halftime. Andy, what are your takeaways from the first half for both squads?
Well, going forward, Shanley, for sure, they need to cut back on the fouls. That was a huge part in giving Sheyenne this lead that they have, as they were draining free throws like it was nothing because they were getting free throws all the time. And I mean, Sheyenne, right now, I don't see very many things that they need to change. They've been very proficient on both offense and defense. They've been good at causing turnovers, getting rebounds, and they've been good at drawing fouls and making three-pointers going up for layups. So for them, I don't think there's a whole lot they need to actually change.
Absolutely, as we're just about to get underway in the second half, as it will be Shanley ball with Hoffer throwing it in to Smith. And just like that, it'll be Hoffer going to the hoop and not able to get it to go, but Smith is able to rebound the ball. Hoffer gets the three-point basket to go, and it's just a 14-point deficit for Shanley. Deacons coming out in a little zone, little trap zone it appears, as Berg goes right to the hoop and somehow able to get that to go over the outstretched arms of Strama. Very impressive from Blake Berg. And we do have another shout out tonight. It will be Ryan Christensen of the boys and girls soccer team. Was able to stay for a little bit of the girls and boys first half, but had to head home and watch it on Shanley TV. So thank you, Ryan, for tuning in. Bath will be sent to the line for 2 shots after the foul was called on 24, Jackson Money. First attempt from Bath, up and good. Second attempt from Bath is up and no good. As Money comes down with the rebound, pushes it out to Berg and gets to Sheyenne Mustangs. Blake Berg's actually going to take the three, and it's going to be just short. Rebound coming down to DeKaiser. Pushes it out to Hoffer. Decides to go at the hoop. Gets the foul called and will be sent to the line for 2. Going back to Patrick Bath, how cool is it, and kind of impressive too, that he's able to have so much poise at such a young age, being only a freshman.
You always love to see a young player who's able to come out and, you know, make plays, make a lot of noise, but at the same time remain calm and act like it's nothing. I mean, it just shows great character in him as an athlete. And, I mean, on either side, no matter who you're cheering for, you're always impressed to see a young player like Patrick Bath come out and just be able to play like it's nothing.
Yeah, very impressive for Bath as both those free throws go, and just a 13-point deficit now for Shanley. Slowly cutting away, as it was 17 at the beginning of this half. Money goes to work, puts it right over to Kaiser. Nice floater there from Money. Smith near side gets it right into Bath. Attempts to go to work on Money. Is they're going to get him called for a reach-in foul on Money, as I believe that will be his second personal and already the third team foul on Sheyenne this half.
Yeah,
I think that's how many they had in the first half.
Yeah, it's surprising to see the roles kind of reversed for fouls here. Shanley hasn't had a single foul yet. It is early in this half, only about a minute and a half in, but yeah, I mean, Sheyenne, they're coming out with a lot of fouls, 3 already.
Hoffer takes the three-point attempt, not able to get it to go as the rebound comes out to Detman. Somehow able to keep control of that as a little spin move here and there. And it'll be Money with the open three-point attempt in the corner, just long, and rebound down to Hoffer. Nice pass to Bath. Goes up, second dunk of the night for Bath. And I still don't think we've seen one from Sheyenne, but 2 from Bath, and boy, have they been pretty. Berg, Terhark, Money right to Berg. Quick passing by Sheyenne. Gets a good attempt. Even though it didn't go, very nice passing from Sheyenne as the Kaiser goes down hard for Shanley. Charlie Dubois, first personal, as Leak checks into the game for Money. Smith brings the ball across the half-court line for Shanley. Kicks it over to DeKaiser, near side guarded by Terhark. Gets the screen, goes the other way. Nice spin move and falls in for DeKaiser. And boy, what a play by DeKaiser. Spin move and the finish. Terhark triple teamed almost, kicks over to Berg, down to Leak. Again, Strema gets double teamed by Shanley's two big guys. And Charlie Dubois will take the open three and not connect as the rebound comes down to Hoffer and Shanley.
Yeah, going forward, it'd be nice to see Cheyenne kind of hit more of those threes. They're getting a lot of open opportunities, but they just haven't been able to get it through.
Hoffer's three-point attempt is good, and boy, is Shanley feeling it right now as this lead was 117 for Cheyenne, cut down to just 8, just a few minutes into the second half. Faithful for Shanley, getting some energy going in this gym as nice pass leak. First dunk for Cheyenne, and boy, there we saw it. You got to think there's going to be a couple more tonight.
Definitely, and especially with that kind of energy that we can kind of feel as the Cheyenne's bench. They're getting on their feet and the fans are getting into it. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple more of those.
Smith's three-point attempt looks good from our angle, but rattles in and out, and rebound comes down to the Mustangs. Quick transition pass from Berg, but Terhark not able to connect as it looks like he wanted a foul call, but is not going to get it as Hoffer brings the ball up the floor for Shanley. DeKaiser up to Hoffer. Bath takes a two-point attempt, banks it in. Does that still count if he did not call the bank?
For sure. I mean, people who say, oh, need to call the bank, whatever. It goes in the hoop. That's all that matters.
It still counts. 2 points on the scoreboard for Shanley. Again, just 8 points separate the Mustangs and the Deacons. Foul called on Shrema. And Blake Berg is just really good at drawing those fouls. I would say one of the best I've seen in a couple of years in high school basketball. Very impressive to watch.
For sure. I think he's been the key player in drawing all those fouls in the first half, as we saw him at the line almost every couple minutes.
First attempt is good as Penyu and Kenny check back into the game for Cheyenne and Shanley. Berg to complete the pair, just short as he gets his own rebound. And yep, Kenny had hands on him the whole way. Not sure why he's questioning that call, as I believe that was a foul with 2 hands on Blake Berg.
Yeah, it did look like the refs made the correct call on that play.
So already the 4th personal on Kenny, which will bring Mears into the game for him, as well as Lyer in for Smith. Another foul on Shanley will send Leak to the line for 2. So that's going to be the 4th personal on Shrema, as we have a little ball coming on the floor from little boy out in the hallway. Good thing that was not during the game and someone tripped on that. So Jack Pollard into the game for Shanley, taking out the 4 fouls and Shrema. And again, another rebound on the free throw, but Mears able to steal it for Shanley. You know, just when it feels like Shanley's going to maybe creep back in with 3 or 4, Cheyenne's able to get a basket of their own, kind of silence that run of Shanley.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've kind of noticed these last couple of games is Shanley, they've been able to compete very early in the game and for most of the first half, but then halftime comes and, I mean, they just kind of lose it. They aren't able to always come back, and they kind of get themselves in these big deficits as we see here, and as Cheyenne will just score. So it'll be interesting to see if they can battle back, because they've kind of started to battle back a little bit in the second half, but it'd be nice to see them do that for the remainder of the game.
And it's back out to 12 after it was once 8. Lyer with the ball in front of Shanley bench. Over to Bath, top of the key, looking for someone to pass. Finds Hoffer. Gets a screen from Bath. Going to drive. Looked like that was a kicked ball, but they're not going to call it. And Lyer will get the ball for the 3-point attempt, and it will not be good as Berg passes it to Leak. Nice spin move, but does not get it to go, as there was a foul called on 20 of the Deacons, Owen Mears. First personal, but 4th team foul on Shanley. So 4 team fouls on both teams. First attempt from Leak is no good as Detman and Moni check back into the game for Cheyenne. Second attempt from Leak is no good, and Pollard comes down with the rebound. It looks like it's going to go off of Detman and head over to Shanley. Hoffer with the ball, getting a little pressure from Cheyenne as they're putting some defense. Quick pass to Bath, quick pass to Pollard, and able to get the 2-point basket to go. Heck of a play there for Shanley. What did you see in that play? Some pretty quick passing by Shanley, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was just good vision by Shanley overall to kind of see the two openings for Bath and Pollard, and they were kind of tough passes as well as Bath. He was kind of tightly guarded, but Hoffer was able to thread the needle and get it through the window, and then Bath was able to get it right down to Pollard, right under the hoop, and he was able to get it up quickly before the Cheyenne defender would swat it away.
And folks, just a reminder that on Friday, Shanley Deacons will be taking on Davies Eagles in a doubleheader at Shanley High School, and it will be broadcasted on Shanley TV, and that night will conclude our senior spotlight of the Deacons basketball team. So make sure to stay tuned, or I should say come back and watch that game on Friday. It'll be Davies taking on Shanley TV. Berg controlling the Mustang offense as Lyer picks him up about half court. Deacons are going to go into a little 2-3 zone, trap zone it looks like, as Moni's going to take the deep three and connect as it hits the back of the rim and goes through. Travel there. Excuse me, I'm going to call a double dribble on Hoffer as he thought Mears was behind him, but was not, so he had to move that ball out of the way so Detman didn't get an easy lane towards the hoop. And how crucial are those turnovers, kind of unforced turnovers, shall we say? How crucial are they into a game like this at about 13 points?
They play a big part in kind of affecting the morale of your team overall. You might kind of get a little discouraged when that happens, and it's also hard when you're down as much as you are right now if you're Shanley. But it's those things that you definitely want to really look out for and try to fix those little mental mistakes that you make.
So just 13 points separate the Mustang and Deacons, just under 12 minutes remaining in tonight's matchup. A little weave action for Shanley as they're handing it off and cutting towards the hoop. Mears over to Lyer for an open three, get his second of the night, and he says, yes, sir. Just 10 points separate the Deacons and the Mustangs. Deacons trying to get some energy as Detman has the ball on the near side, finds an open Penu on the corner. Going to take that three and going to hit one of his own and says, I can do that too, to Jackson Lyer. Hoffer over to Lyer. The next dead ball, Brenda Kaiser will be checking in for Shanley. Mears up top. Bath looks like he's going to go to work on Moni. Tried to get it over to Mears, but stolen by Moni and Terhark. And given right back to the Deacons after it goes off of a Cheyenne Mustang shoe. Yep, and I believe that was the right call, as it looked like Talon Hoffer extended his arm a little bit. That'll be another personal foul on Hoffer. His second personal, 5th team foul on Shanley. And Shanley's going to want to get over this last little hump that they haven't been able to do so. What do they need to do in the last about 10 minutes and 30 seconds?
As I said before, they just got to cut down on the fouls, and also, as we were kind of saying earlier, the little unforced turnovers that I said earlier, that's a big role in the morale of your team and just how you play. So you want to cut down on those little things to really make a big difference for the rest of this game.
You got to control the controllables, but you can't control when Cheyenne is making shots like Detman hit on that last three. Hoffer open three and gets one of his own. Gets the answer for Shanley. Back to 13 points. It's just a deficit for Shanley. Detman guarded by Hoffer and Lyer over to Berg in front of his coach. Finds Turok. Nice pass to Moni. Puts up and off the glass and in. And boy, is Moni having a good night down low as well as behind the arc. Hoffer finds Mears. Mears looking for something to do with the ball. picks it up, throws it over to DeKaiser, who gets fouled on the ground. Looks like it's going to be Shanley ball out of bounds underneath the basket as Leak and Du Bois check in for Sheyenne. And Connor Kraft checking in to the game for the first time this evening for Shanley. Little triangle play here for Shanley as Hoffer's just able to get it into DeKaiser, but then gets it stolen by Du Bois, who then throws it right out of bounds. And the ball head right back over to Shanley. Lyer, guarded by Detman, gets it to DeKaiser. Right back to Lyer. Cheyenne playing man-on-man defense. Deacons comfortable with passing it on the top of the key. And Hoffer misses that basket, and a foul will be called on 32, Connor Kraft.
Another thing that Shanley's going to have to improve on is capitalizing on these opportunities that Cheyenne's kind of giving to them. We've seen a couple times where Cheyenne will turn the ball over by a little bit of a mental mistake by themselves, and Shanley, they just haven't been able to put the ball in the hoop after getting a chance like that.
Detman over to Terhark. Terhark up to Moni. To Detman. Guarded by Hoffer. AAU teammates there. Little friendly rivalry, shall we say, as Detman gets the three-point basket up, but not able to get it to go, as it will stay with Cheyenne.
Substitution number 3, Blake Berg in the game.
Looks like Blake Berg is going to check into the game for Jackson Moni, as Du Bois will throw it in on the far side in front of his bench. Tipped pass there by Hoffer, gets the steal, goes up for layup, blocked by Berg. Bath gets the rebound, puts it up, not able to get it to go, but will be sent to the line. We've seen some pretty athletic plays tonight. Couple dunks, couple blocks. You know, how does that get the teams going? Definitely gets some momentum going in their way, does it not?
For sure. I mean, I know if I'm a player and I see one of my fellow teammates making a play, going up for a huge dunk, that gets me riled up, and that makes me want to go out there and make a play just like him.
Second attempt from Bath, up and good. 14 points is the difference between Cheyenne and Shanley. Deacons trying to trap Cheyenne wherever possible as Berg kicks it over to Terhark. Du Bois to Berg to Demon. Open three in the corner. Not able to get it to go, but rebound out to Terhark. Gives it to Du Bois, and he will also miss the three-point attempt as rebound comes down to Shanley. Nice pump fake and basket from Bath. Gets fouled by Du Bois and will be sent to the line for the three-point play.
Yeah, on that play, it almost looked like he may have wanted to go up for a dunk or just go for a strong layup, but he kind of got stopped. But he did a great job of reacting to that defense and kind of step back and get that jump shot.
Just shows the experience he has already had this year, only this being his first year of varsity basketball. It's crazy how fast those young kids can learn and improve their game.
Yeah, half the time when I see him out on the court, I forget he's a freshman. I mean, not just with his height, but I mean just the way he plays, now calm and relaxed he is.
Yeah, that's for sure. Plays calm, relaxed. He's a big boy too, and tall. So definitely going to be a key piece in Shanley's future teams. As Moni hits another three, and boy, is he connecting on all cylinders this evening. Hoffer, near side, guarded by Berg. Over to DeKaiser. Lyer, pump fakes, tries to drive, but excellent defense by Detman. As a nice pass from Hoffer to Bath. Puts the two-point floater and can't get it to go as Cheyenne tries to extend their 15-point lead. Leak steps into a three, can't get it to go. Rebound comes down to Leak. And we do have a foul on Patrick Bath, I guess, on Shanley. Excuse me, it's going to be Patrick Bath shooting. Foul on Cheyenne. That makes a little bit more sense. It looked like Tyler Turek kind of came over the back of Bath.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when you said Patrick Bath. When I saw he was the one on the ground, I was like...
Yeah, they're kind of pointing to Bath. I'm guessing he's the shooter. Yep, so they were pointing to Bath as showing the shooter. Looks like we have a little sweat on the floor on the far side, so we're just getting that cleaned up. And then Bath will be shooting the 1-and-1 on the other end. First end of the 1-and-1 is good, so we'll be granted the second attempt. Second end of the 1-and-1 is good, and we have a timeout on the floor. Timeout Shanley. It'll be a full timeout. And as we have a second here, we would like to remind you guys that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It is easy to become a member, and anyone can join. So sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. You know, Andy, one thing we haven't talked about too much, but Joe and I covered a little bit in the first game, is quite a good showing in the gym here. How fun is that to play in front of an audience that's pretty well attended?
It definitely gives you a little bit more confidence or a little more of a reason to play because, I mean, we've seen a couple times where the gym will look a little empty, but it's always nice to see with teams that are, with high schools that are pretty close to each other, opposing fans coming out to the visiting arena to cheer their team on. It's always good to see a lot of people in the crowds help your team with a little bit of their morale.
Yeah, and a lot of people in the gym tonight, but I'm guessing we'll have even more on Friday for a rivalry of the 25th Street Showdown of Davies and Shanley.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. As the rivalry between Shanley and Davies has transcended all sports these last couple of years. They've just been two teams that have been almost at their throats in almost every single sport.
Yeah, it's crazy. Davies just came to school in the last 10 years, and there's already football teams are playing for a trophy this year, as Davies did sneak away with that win in the regular season contest, as there's a foul on Shanley. So Moni will be sent to the line for 2 shots. Third personal on Talon Hoffer. 7th team foul, so team fouls definitely adding up for both squads. First attempt is no good. Seems like he's clicking on all cylinders except from the charity stripe. Second attempt from Moni is good. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. So 14-point lead again for Sheyenne. Liar, pump fakes as Cheyenne's playing a little 2-3 zone. Bath almost triple team down there, but is very fortunate to have the ball go off of Sheyenne and stay with Shanley. DeKaiser with the ball. Over to Liar. Liar to Hoffer, guarded by Terhark on top of the key. Nice play there by Moni as he was able to get the ball from Hoffer and get the Cheyenne out on the offensive attack. Terhark with the open 3, gets it to go. All started by a steal from Moni.
And there we see again that I kind of touched on earlier. Shanley getting another opportunity to score as the ball did go out of bounds on Cheyenne before that little drive they had, but they just weren't able to do really anything with the ball, and they just turned the ball right back over.
Terhark over to Moni. Another 3. Passes it over to Dedman. He'll take the 3 and won't go as rebound comes down to DeKaiser. They will say he stepped out of bounds, and it will stay with Cheyenne. Substitute into the game for Shanley will be Smith and Shrema. Tom Kirchhoffner will take a timeout for Cheyenne. It will be a full timeout on the floor. And about 17 points now is what separates the Deacons from Cheyenne. Last 6 minutes. You know, it seems like Shanley's been struggling this whole year to close out victories as they lost close to Red River and who was that? Devil's Lake, I believe they lost close to. Able to beat West Fargo. You got to think they're going to want to win this game to get a little momentum going into that game against Davies.
Definitely. I mean, like you said, they've kind of struggled all year with that, kind of going up and then losing it towards the end. But it's just hard, especially against a very athletic team like this. Shanley, they really gotta put the pedal to the metal and just be firing on all cylinders they got to be almost perfect to get back closer into this game. Being down 17, I mean, we've seen them kind of come back. They were down only 9 or 10 at one point after being down by 17, but they got to be ripping on everything they can.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job of getting the lead early in games. They just can't maintain that lead and at the end come out with the lead at the end of the game. So 6 minutes remaining in the boys matchup. Again, the Shanley girls took away with the win against the Sheyenne girls prior to the start of this game. So it'll be Sheyenne ball underneath their hoop. Berg will be throwing it in to Detman. Back to Berg, open three-point attempt, not gonna shoot it. And kicks it back out to Moni up top. Detman to Berg, inside to Leak. Has an open Detman, finds him. Just excellent passing and gets that swatted is Patrick Bath. But Sheyenne somehow able to control the ball. And Moni's triple is not good as we have a foul called on Leak, which will send Roman Trema to the line for the double bonus. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left, and Shanley has a double bonus, and you got to think that might help them getting some free points when the clock is stopped. First of the double bonus is no good as it rattles in and out. Heading to the bench for Sheyenne is Leak as Chuck Dubois subs in for him. Second attempt from Shrema is also no good, but rebound comes down to Bath, who then gets it deflected by Moni, and Sheyenne comes away with the basketball. Dubois over to Berg to Moni. Sets up the offense is Blake Berg. Moni gets that shot to go. And the Deacons are now down 19. So able to cut into that lead that Sheyenne held, but now back out to 19. DeKaiser down to Shrema, guarded by Moni. Gets a two-point floater to go over Moni. Terhark, near side, over to Moni up top. Berg to Detman, corner. Not gonna take it. And we'll get a kicked ball. So we've talked about Shanley's schedule coming up, but now Cheyenne's schedule, they have Wahpeton and West Fargo. You gotta think that they're kind of overlooking that Wahpeton game just for the fact that they play West Fargo in that rivalry. How important are rivalries in high school athletics?
I mean, they're big, especially as we were kind of touching on earlier. Shanley and Davies, I mean, those are always great games to see. There's always heavy competition amongst both teams. They're very important in overall the kind of energy and the morale of your team. And, yeah, they're a big part of high school sports.
Hoffer throws the ball into DeKaiser, puts up a two-point shot, and can't get it to go with the rebound coming down to Blake Berg and the Mustangs. Detman takes the open three, can't get it to go. But Shanley's not doing their best effort on rebounding as Penyu gets a three-point basket, and the lead is out to 20 for Sheyenne. You know, now it's starting to think that is the game over? Is Cheyenne secured their lead high enough? And that's just something we got to figure out. Do you think Cheyenne's going to kind of hold back a little bit and not push the pedal so much? Or do you think they're going to go pedal to the metal and keep it going?
I think they'll keep going pedal to the metal. I mean, they just seem like that kind of team with the strong athleticism they have and that drive just to play the game. I mean, they're always almost completely perfect on offense, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't let up one bit.
Always talking about energy. You want to think they're going to have energy going into their next game against Wahpeton as well as West Fargo. Blocking foul called on Terhark. Will send Hoffer to the line for two. Looks like Terhark's not quite agreeing with that call, but it will be Hoffer at the line for two shots at the charity stripe. Hoffer's first attempt is up and good. Let's do have some stats. Hoffer has the 19 points, leading Shanley, as well as Bath with 16. So those two guys leading Deacons scoring. On the other hand, Moni and Blake Berg are leading for Sheyenne as Denman puts up a three and can't get it to go. Rebound coming down to DeKaiser. Berg throws it right out to Kaiser's foot, right to Hoffer. Kind of lucky for the Deacons, as they will call an offensive foul on DeKaiser of Shanley. Not sure about that call, but again, the refs get paid to make the right calls, so you got to trust the refs there.
Yeah, I didn't exactly totally see what the whole thing was. There was kind of a Cheyenne player in my way, but it just kind of seemed that Braden DeKaiser was just kind of trying to work his way around the defense. It didn't seem that he was doing anything intentionally. It was just on accident. He was kind of trying to roll through that tight defense that Cheyenne has had.
Detman over to Penny, who gets guarded closely by DeKaiser. Berg into Moni. Out to Turk. Open three. Going to take it and going to knock it down. Lead out to 21 for Cheyenne. You got to think that might do it, and that might be the dagger. Smith to Bath. Nice pass down low. Trap needs to pass someone, but can't find anyone and gets it right over to Moni. Foul and the basket for Terhardt, as he's kind of flexing his muscles there. Gets the basket, and now the foul, the chance to convert the three-point play after the foul is the second on Quincy Smith. Looks like Coach Tony Paper is going to get in some subs for Shanley. Wants some experience for the younger players, as Dylan Erholtz, Matthew Holstein, Carter Jager, and then Connor Kraft check back in the game for Shanley, as well as Emmett Kenny. Seems a little bit early to send in your backup players. I'm not sure if you agree on that, but you got to think he just wants them to get some experience in case injuries plague Shanley later in the year.
Yeah, definitely. And being down 23, and as we were saying earlier, I mean, Shanley, they just don't really seem that they're able to overcome this lead. And I don't necessarily disagree with the idea of putting in some of the younger players at this time.
3-point made basket by Carter Jager. You know, now that I think about it more and more, I think it is the right call by Coach Paper to put your subs in. As it was 23 when they came in. You know, looking back, I do think that was the right move by Coach Paper and the Deacons.
Yeah, and these last 2 minutes, they'll probably go by quick as a blink. I mean, both these teams have been playing very fast. There has been some stops with fouls, but I mean, for the most part, it's been a pretty quick game.
Yeah, 30-second timeout on the floor called by Cheyenne with just under 2 minutes, like Andy said, remaining in the matchup. So 86-65 is what the score reads right now. You got to think Cheyenne's going to get over 90, and whenever you put up 90, you got to be happy. I mean, you probably won't lose, but whenever you put up 90, you got to be happy, don't you?
Definitely, especially in high school sports, seeing that your team is able to really push it to the limits and being able to bring the score up as high as 90 points. It's always impressive and always good boost for your confidence of your team.
So it'll be Cheyenne ball in front of the scores table. And Pennu will bring the ball up the floor and actually give it right off to Berg to set up the Cheyenne offense. Nice made basket there by Cheyenne. Pushes out the lead to 23. Nile with a 2-point basket. Jager to Kenny. Kenny to Jager up top. Guarded by Moni, a little bit of a matchup difference there as Connor Kraft gets the 2-point basket to go. Penny over to Berg, down to Moni, down low. Nice move. Not able to get the basket. Gets the rebound, puts it back up, and gets that to go as Cheyenne calls a substitution timeout as they'll bring in 4 new players. and have some of the younger guys get some experience and minutes in a varsity game. So just under a minute now remaining as Kenny drives, gets the 2-point basket to go high off the backboard. 21-point margin with 45 seconds remaining. Cheyenne keeping that excellent passing up from the starters to the role players on the bench as Carter Jager comes down with the rebound for Shanley. And we do have a stoppage in play. Foul called on 14 of Cheyenne, Manson, excuse me.
Number 14, Ben Manson, his first personal foul. Carter Jagger going to the line.
And you know, Carter Jager is a player that sticks out to me for Shanley that he's going to be relied on in a couple of years from now when he's a senior to, you know, step up and make these clutch free throws at the end of games.
Yeah, definitely. Not just on the varsity side, but I kind of saw him playing a little bit on the JV side, and he seemed like a great player. He was putting up points, making clean passes. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a big part of Shanley's offense going forward.
Manson swings it over to Urlacher. Back up to Manson, guarded by Dylan Erholtz. Driving is Anderson into the corner to Manson. Over to Urlacher. Looks like he wanted the three, but gets it down to Niall down low, who's double teamed by Kenny and Kraft. 5 seconds remaining in the game. And Good Iron is not able to get that to go. Are they going to count it? And they are going to count that basket as Niall's able to get the 2-point basket to go. So, Andy, we had a game that kind of went back and forth the first half. And then at the end of the first half, Cheyenne kind of, you know, took the lead and didn't look back and just kind of ran away with it. What are your takeaways, or what do teams need to work on going into their next games?
Kind of similar to what I was saying before at halftime. I mean, Cheyenne, I don't see a whole lot wrong with them. They were very proficient on offense, defense, from the free throw line. They were doing almost everything right, and as we see with the 92-point showing. And on Shanley's side, there's a lot they have to work on. First off, I mean, fouls, they were racking those up like crazy in the first half. And also, as we touched on earlier, just those kind of smaller mistakes on offense, kind of shooting yourself in the foot, getting the ball out of bounds, or not making the smartest pass. It's just little things like that Shanley really has to work on going forward.
Yeah, little things by both teams. And, you know, Cheyenne could be putting up 100, and Deacons could be in that 85-90 range. So two very talented teams here in tonight's contest. For Andy Simon and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Altringer. The final score from Fargo is Cheyenne Mustangs 92, Shanley 71. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceed has been a presentation of Shanley TV.